Are you kidding me? Is this for real? I'm the biggest Big Brother fan ever. What I've been doing to get ready for Big Brother, getting in shape, I've been reading strategic books so that my mind will be set and right for the game. I want to go down as one of the greatest players ever. Every boy needs at least one pair of Bo Dukes. The ladies love them.
And Frank. Please enter the house now.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Look at these things.
Go quick. Hey, I'm Will.
I'm gonna do the big bed. I'm gonna go ahead and call it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this full-size bed before anybody else can. That way, there's a girl who needs a bed to share. She can jump in with me.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm Frank. Just moved to Naples, Florida about a year ago, and I'm currently looking for work down there.
Frank's hiding something. I'm about 98% sure he's hiding some fact about what he does for a living.
Mike Boogie, you're next.
I'll take Frank.
I picked Frank for many reasons. Obviously, he's very athletic, but with hair like that and a personality to boot, I really feel like he can not only get along with the girls, but also the guys.
Jody, I'm sorry, I have to evict you.
Well, thanks, guys.
I do love how the temperature does drop here. Like back home, it'd still be like, 90-something degrees, high humidity.
You want to talk, man? No, I got a strong 6-person alliance, but it's definitely better for me if I get, somebody on the other side, like a Frank, to be on my side. If I'm giving him protection, he's obviously going to want me to stay in the game.
It's getting intense a little bit, and I know your boys are in your ear, so.
To be honest, but me and Boogie haven't talked one lick of strategy. Has Brittany been talking with y'all? She doesn't seem like she'd be talking strategy with y'all either.
It is what it is,
Yeah.
It ain't like we're just nothing but talking strategy. It's
Yeah.
real early in the game. I mean, I have to make a decision, and I have to know where people stand.
Yeah.
We both want to win this game. And with both of us in this game together, it helps you out, and it helps me out.
I agree, man.
I think me and Frank are a lot alike. We come from the same area, we got the same type of mind. And I think we both have the will to win. And if we're both playing, it's going to be really hard to beat either me or Frank.
I won't with you this week, but I have to know that for sure, that you're not going to vote me out next week.
You got my word, all right? Number one. Number two,
don't even put me on the block. Even if Boogie comes up to you and offers his children, his first child or whatever, you're not gonna waver on that. They're gunning for me.
Yeah, you think so?
I know so.
I'm here to play my game. I'm not here to play Boogie's game.
I think you got a strong enough mind to make your own decisions and to do whatever you got to do to get further along in the game.
Now, there is no question in my mind I think I could trust Frank, even though Boogie might have something out for me. I think Frank still would not put me up.
I think me and you can go deep in the game, and you got my word on that.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's all I want.
I promise you.
I nominated Kara for eviction and Frank for eviction. This was hard, man. I didn't think it was gonna be this difficult. I like all of y'all. I have really never even talked to you. Frank, we were cool at the beginning, they just separated. I don't know what happened. It just got weird. I know we all struggled to get here, but every week, somebody's gotta go home. So I'm sorry, guys. This nomination ceremony is adjourned.
I am completely flabbergasted right now because Willie is the one that approached me. He came to me and wanted to make a deal with me. He's the one up in the penthouse. And now all of a sudden, he puts me in the outhouse. So I'm gonna compete and I'm gonna throw everything I have out there on the line. The last thing I wanna do is go home the very first week. I'm completely blindsided to be nominated right now. I'm super disappointed in Willie going against his word, but I'm gonna fight tooth and nail to win that power and veto.
Don't panic.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have a little powwow because it's not your first time, and but don't panic. We have plenty of time. Hopefully she does what a lot of girls do, particularly the first girl is nominated and they go into a shell and then, look, she ain't happy either.
Yeah.
So we got to remember that. She's falling apart right now.
Yeah, she's in there crying. I feel terrible for her.
Good, let her cry. Let her cry a lot. But first thing you do is figure out how to get good with Willie.
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Look, here's the thing. This is such an important time, because this is when all eyes are on you and they expect you to be mad. They expect you to, it makes Willie uncomfortable. Willie still has a ton of power.
Even though Willie's done with the nominations, he still has a lot of power. He's at the epicenter of everything with his group, and Frank needs to make sure that he sways Willie and he motivates him to keep him in the game this week.
So we got to get to work, and the biggest thing is making the house feel comfortable around you.
Yeah.
Going back to business.
I
think you're like that anyway.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to work.
Yeah.
Now the games begin. Let's do this.
Absolutely.
Hearing all this is a big education for me because I know at some point I'm going to be up on the block. So I'm grateful to hear all this great advice from Boogs.
You want to pop in this arcade room?
Yeah.
I want to talk with Willie to defuse the situation and figure out why he put me up, because I want to work with him down the road.
I'm sure you would think that Frank is up. I put him up. He might be gunning for me. And I don't want to I don't want to go after you.
So I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
The Boogie thing is really bothering me. Okay? Because I know what Boogie's about. And the thing is, Boogie's gunning for me.
Yeah.
And I know that. Nobody can't tell me he isn't.
I'm worried about these coaches influencing certain people.
Yeah.
Because in the end,
It's about us.
the coaches, they don't care which one of us make it to the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Like I told you from the beginning, obviously, if I do happen to somehow make it to the end and win, that's great for Boogie. But I'm not worried about getting Boogie money.
Yeah, I got
you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like my best chance to make it further in this game is with you in this house with me. When this week's all said and done, I hope I'm here, and I hope that we can work together. And when that's all said and done, don't worry about Boogie. Mine and yours best chance of making it deep into this game is together.
Getting Willie to trust that I want to work with him down the road is very important, because not only does he influence a lot of people, but he's competing in the power of veto.
I believe you. I really, really do. When I met you the first day, I really, really believe everything you told me. I have to make the right decision for me.
Absolutely.
I'm not wanting to get Frank out of this game. I'm wanting to get Boogie out of this house. I like Frank, and my problem is with Boogie. He's my threat. So, I'm going to have to figure out what to do.
Well, I'm obviously just gonna keep my cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that in POV like I got ice water in my veins.
Like you're a beast.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
You and I are obviously
Targets.
and the biggest, most physical threat. You're jacked, dude. The way we work out,
It's a little intimidating
a little
too,
bit.
yeah.
So, obviously it's me, you, Will, Kara, Danielle. Obviously, if Kara wins, she's taking herself off.
Yeah.
Danielle, I'm not sure about. Willie, I'm sure he's gonna keep the same. I don't want to piss Willie off if I win and take you off the block. But if it's gonna benefit my gameplay, and you and I can maybe work something out.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Shane's willing to work with me to help me win this power veto and pull me off the block, that's amazing. I need all the help that I can get this week to come off the block or at least stay safe.
If you do win, and it comes to that road where it's like, if you really do possibly want to use it, obviously, that's your action showing me that I can trust you 100%.
Exactly. And hopefully if you win next week, which is a huge possibility,
Yeah.
then I'm safe. And that's huge for me, because I don't want you and I don't want Boogie coming after me.
Yeah.
I know you're in a bad situation, and, you'd be great for my alliance, or, as someone I can trust.
Absolutely.
Kara wants to work with me, and Frank wants to work with me, and this could really benefit my game.
We'll talk about it after.
Absolutely.
Frank, now it's your turn to speak.
Shane, listen to me carefully. If you do pull me off the block, preach.
I have decided not to use a veto today. It's the first week, and it's the hardest week to get to know everyone.
It's nothing personal. I like both of y'all the same. I don't want any blood on my hands by using the power veto. It's in my best interest not to use it. Start rallying up your votes, guys. You know, you're not out of here by any means. This veto meeting is adjourned.
Since I'm on the block against Kara, it means I'm gonna have to campaign against her a little bit. I wanna make sure people realize that she's not really a gamer and they need people in this house that they can work with.
Come on in.
Willie put me on the block, and Shane had the chance, but didn't take me off the block. I definitely feel as though Willie is the key for me to get the votes to stay here this week.
I don't trust anybody in this house as much as I trust you.
You're still good to stay in this house. I'm telling you, I'm going to get you your votes this week. The only way that it would stop is if you run around and start talking to people.
I know that.
If you would turn on me, I'd vomit.
I'm not out there campaigning for votes right now.
Yeah. I'm in a position where I believe whatever I really want to happen is going to happen.
Yeah. You getting me these votes this week proves to me that you want to work with me. You can trust me.
I definitely felt better with my chances before the town hall meeting than I did afterwards. And I'm second guessing the way that Willie's playing the game. So I need to talk to Willie, find out where his head's at.
Come on in. What's up, boss?
I hope that powwow didn't hurt me.
Nothing's changed. We have to stay legit with each other. We got to stay strong in this game.
Brittany.
Are we?
No, he's cool. Hey, come on in. He's just wanting to fight for his life.
I'm freaking tired.
Will came up here, he said, I don't want to talk about this game for 24 hours. I'm done with this game.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm taking a 24-hour break from game talk altogether.
First, Willie's putting everybody off in the house with this paranoid town hall meeting, and then he's putting me off by mocking Will. I was really rubbed the wrong way.
You're fine. What's up, guys? Where are you at with this? I am worried that that meeting might have hurt me more than it helped me. What do you feel about it?
I gotta be honest with you. Willie already said he wants 2 of us to vote for Kara, 2 of us to vote so that no one can tell who voted and how.
Really?
This is what we were thinking about doing, the voting thing, and I think it's really smart because then it looks like we are not united as they think we are.
We're gonna split the vote so that it doesn't look like we all got together and decided on who to vote out.
That's how sneaky he is. That gets me a little hot because he's sitting here saying it's a clean sweep to me.
Day 2, Willie promises me that I won't go up on the block, and then I get put up on the block. After that, he comes and tells me that he will fight tooth and nail to keep me in this house and get me the votes that I need. But then Joe comes and tells me that he's trying to split the votes. At this point, I don't think I can trust him, and I don't think he's somebody I want to work with.
Here's what he said about Will, too, because you might want to tell Will this at one point. He mocks a voice, and he's like, that's, I guess, trying to do a Will voice or a gay voice, and he's like, I don't want to talk game for 24 hours.
Upon hearing the news from Frank that Willie was upstairs mocking Will, I was not happy with that at all. That's not part of the game.
I've been trying to save you all week, man.
I mean, is that all the way true?
All week, dude. I've been begging everybody to keep you in this house. Don't f with me right now, brother.
Well, I'm just trying to have a real talk with you, man. There's no need to raise your voice.
I've been trying to save your ass, and you're gonna come sling my name in the dirt and make me look like I'm a idiot?
You gonna chop my head off too next week, Willie?
I wasn't gonna chop your head off next week. I told you, I said, we'll work from week to week, and then you're gonna come throw me in the dirt?
Willie, listen.
I've been doing everything for you.
Day number 2, you said, I promise you will not go on the block, and I'm on the block. That's all I gotta say. Whenever I know it's going willy-nilly and that it might be a 4 or 5 vote which could switch either way, I gotta protect myself. This is my game, Willie.
I told you 1,000 times, just be quiet this week, you're okay.
But look,
and you kept
it doesn't
on running
matter
your
what you
mouth.
tell me to do because it's my game. Just
You're
like you don't want the coaches to play their game.
You're right.
I'm not
You're
going to let you play my game.
It is your game, and you kept messing up your game, so I kept on trying to help you out in your game. I don't know what I did wrong to you, except do everything in my power to keep you in this house.
You know, you did not, because you wanted.
I did not.
You wanted some of Janelle's players to vote against me, so you would look good, and I'd go after them next week. Truth or not?
This is getting bull right here.
But
I hope you go home this week.
Okay.
I hope everybody changes their votes and you go home because you a shady.
I'm not a shady. I'm a straight talking. I speak nothing but the truth.
I hope you stay, baby, because he's a piece of.
But hey,
I
come
hope
on
you
now.
stay.
Why you gotta attack me like that?
I'm not gonna be awkward. I'm a grown-ass man.
I'm not gonna be awkward either.
When I come in and get something to eat, I'm gonna sit down there and eat some food, Fruit Loops or whatever, because that's what I want to do. And I'm gonna come out here and smoke, and I don't give a who's out here.
Eat your Fruit Loops. I ain't worried about it.
Well, 2 people are knocked out. Me and you. Congratulations.
I might not be knocked out.
Whoever wants to vote for her, please vote for her.
Whoever wants to vote for me, vote for me. And whoever wants to vote for Kara too. I'm all right with that.
Willie, you the boss of all these people, or what? Like, who died and left you boss?
Dude,
why do you get to tell everybody what to do?
I'm telling you what I'm saying, Boogie, is the fact that I'm not gonna stay up there and have people saying I'm saying things and that I didn't say it. You can go do your thing, Boogie. I ain't got no time
I'm gonna go get
for
some
you.
Fruit Loops, and I'll eat my salmon up in here too while you eat your Fruit Loops. You all gonna get bullied by him? You gonna let him come in here and bully everybody because his brother was on a reality show?
How am I bullying them when I tell them not to follow you to the end so you can cut their neck off?
Just let everybody vote how they want to vote.
Exactly. Unreal, dude.
And Frank, you're up first.
I want to start off by saying it's been an absolute pleasure to get to know all of you so far. And I've enjoyed every minute of these last 13 days. And I just hope and pray that it's not over for me. As far as your voting goes, I think everyone knows how hard I fought to make it into this house. And if you vote to keep me in, I'll fight just as hard to protect you. Nobody should let a bully dictate how they play this game or how you vote. Because bullying is not okay outside this house or inside this house. And if your coaches are telling you to get rid of me, think about what's best for your game. But if they're telling you to keep me, please listen to your coaches.
Pretty smooth, Frank. Pretty smooth.
Thanks, Jules.
I vote to evict Frank.
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 House guests, the votes are in. When I reveal the vote, the evicted house guest will have just a few moments to say goodbye, gather his or her belongings, and walk out the front door. By a vote of 5 to 3, Kara, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Don't ask me how, but somehow I managed to stay in this house this week. I'm definitely counting my blessings right now, because if it would have been a tiebreaker, Willie would have sent me packing out the door.
The vote tonight wasn't so much about Kara versus Frank. It basically turned into the house versus Willie. The house decided that the best chances of getting Willie out of here this week is to keep Frank in the game. Kara probably wasn't going to dare to go after him. But you know who will? Frank. And you know who's going to be right beside him? Me.
All right, now go out and get this HOH. Go out and get it.
The correct answer is guilty. Congratulations, Frank. You are the new head of household. Willie, please pass on the key to the HOH bedroom.
It seemed like you were pretty much out the door and you had a big fight. I don't really remember what happened the rest of the week. It was so crazy in here.
I think we got all of Janelle's players to vote to keep me, and then I went outside and won HOH. To the penthouse! Who wants to see my HOH room?
Let's go see it, man. Oh, seeing the HOH room is the last thing I really want to do. I mean, I'm not a fake person, so it's hard for me to do this.
All right, let's do it. Oh, boy.
What? Shut up.
Oh, there's my Julie Chin shirt. Pictures.
Shut up. Look how short your hair is.
There's the mullet action right there.
No way. Look at that mullet.
Frank pulls off a mullet pretty well. He's got great bone structure for it.
Behold the power of the hair.
Having my own HOH room is definitely a surreal moment. The main reason that I'm so happy right now is that I've been on the block for a while, and I made it work. I pulled it off.
Wow, Bugs, you made out too.
Yeah.
Too bad that
I ain't
wasn't
mad
a
at
real
it.
mini bar.
Balance bars, they know who I am. This season, as a coach, if one of your players wins head of household, you also get to move into the head of household suite. Oh, yes, pictures. Seeing the picture of my 9-month-old son, Brady, meant the world to me.
Is that you?
No, it's my baby.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
In here, you're deprived of everything in your daily life. And to see my son, it kind of put my mind outside of this really super intense game. And I look forward to seeing him soon, but not too soon.
Strawberries and raspberries.
No way.
The XX.
Willie was feasting on a plate of crow served cold.
A little sushi action!
You could cut the awkwardness with a knife.
I'm not gonna miss the HOH room. I'm not in this house to be comfortable. I'm in this house to win $500,000. So as long as I'm in the game, I'm happy no matter where I'm at.
I'm going on down. All right.
So Willie has been removed from the game.
I mean, it's a wild, crazy idea, but
Well,
putting one of
it's
our
just-
own up. I'm not interested in this plan because in Big Brother, the pawns go home, and I'm not interested in going home.
It's a little risky. If you guys put JoJo and Shane up, one of them leaves for sure.
Yeah, but we'd much rather go ahead and get Shane out if we can. Boogie comes up with a very interesting proposition, and that's putting up 2 people who are not Shane up on the block and trying to backdoor him this week. And maybe even putting up one of our own players to show that we're ready to play ball. This could be a really good idea.
Just ponder it is all I'm saying. Just food for thought.
Come in.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I please talk to you, Frank?
Yeah, no worries.
Please, I'm sorry. Like, I at least deserve a chance.
No worries.
You wanna go in the arcade?
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't know if your mind's made up. Obviously, me and Shane got because of Willie.
Yeah.
You know, like, the whole thing, we tried to work together, and I swear to God, I swear on my grandmother's life, I was gonna have your back.
Yeah.
And like, obviously I've shown that I'm loyal to people that I align myself with.
I told you the night after the blow up, vote for me and I'll know that I can trust you.
If you vote with Willie and stick with Willie this week, then you're going to be putting yourself in that same pot.
Y'all still stuck with Willie, who
And
was a
Danielle
bull.
didn't either.
She voted for Kara because it was only her only person left. At the same time, you weren't voting one of your own people out. You could have voted Kara out who wasn't on your team. See, Danielle didn't have that choice. You did.
Because Willie put it in my head, that you couldn't be trusted, basically.
But all of a sudden now you trust me because I've got HOH. You see what I'm saying? I gave you the chance, JoJo. You know that. I
No, I
gave
know.
you the chance. I gave
I
Shane,
know, but I felt like I had to stay loyal to the people that I started with.
somebody who was just cancer in this
Because
house.
I didn't see it.
How could you not see it?
It was a mistake on my part and Shane's part. We were just both blinded by it.
This isn't my fault. I don't know why everyone's acting different towards me, Brittany, and Shane. We were just being loyal. Like, everyone else is sticking with their players and their coach. It's like, okay, well, it's an easy way to target us.
You just don't have a whole lot of excuses other than that he was on your team but the thing was you could have said, hey, that's not the right choice. And I'm sorry that you're in the spot, JoJo, because a lot of it's Willie's fault, but a lot of it's your fault too. It sucks because Willie would have easily been my #1 target this week, but now I gotta get a little blood on my hands. You made a bad decision. Nominating 2 people for eviction is never an easy thing to do. I had 2 really good options on the table, but in the end, I had to make the decision that was best for me. Hey everybody, it's time for the nomination ceremony. This is the nomination ceremony. One of my duties as head of household is to nominate 2 people for eviction. Ashley, since Janelle won the coaches competition and decided to keep you safe, you already have your key and therefore cannot be nominated. I will pull the first key and that person will be safe. they will pull the next key, and so on and so forth. I've nominated you, Shane, and you, JoJo, for evictions. You both were aligned with Willie. I'm gonna at least give you both the chance to pull yourself off the block this week and win the power of veto. This nomination ceremony is adjourned. Shane and JoJo, you did not heed my advice last week and you tried to vote to get me out. So now you're gonna have to feel the heat from the hot seat this week. Shane, you're my #1 target. I guess everybody's sleeping in a little bit this morning, right?
You sleep good?
I did sleep pretty good. Last week with the staying up late, you know?
That killed me.
It is a crazy game.
It's insane. At this point in the game, I'm gonna possibly lose one of my allies, JoJo or Danielle. If I'm gonna save them, I have to convince Frank to make a big move. I got an idea that would be a complete game changer.
What is it?
I guess I can go over there. Just while no one else is up.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, I know you and Janelle are working together. And I know Danielle is the obvious one to put out. Well, here's what I'm thinking. Who do you think, minus me, is your biggest physical threat in this game that would be gunning for you?
Will.
There's an opportunity to backdoor him this week. So we have the votes to get him out. It's a risk. Guarantee you, if you save JoJo and or Danielle this week, they'll have your back.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to JoJo, and she said, absolutely 100%. I hope Frank realizes this is a huge opportunity to put Will on the block instead of Danielle. I hope he thinks long and hard. It could be a great thing for both he and I in this game. It'd be a huge game changer.
Yeah.
It's no fun nominating 2 people, much less having to put somebody else up on the block. Unfortunately, I've decided to nominate Danielle. Eventually, I'm gonna have to go up against Janelle's players. But for now, putting up Will, it's a little bit too early. I don't want to rock the boat just yet.
Hi there, Frank.
Hey, Jules, how you doing?
I'm good. Nice t-shirt.
Thank you very much. Are you my home girl?
Are you my home skillet?
Absolutely.
All right, then we're on. Let's talk game here. Now, your housemates are all in the living room, and they're not able to hear you, so speak your mind.
Absolutely.
Now, you and your coach, Mike Boogie, seem to have gotten close. How important has his advice been to you in this game so far?
It's definitely been important to me, and it's nice to have Boogie because I definitely respect him as a player, and I love his entertainment value he brings to the game. And we're having a blast together. I couldn't pick a better coach at this point.
Now, you spoke to Shane about working together. Is it a real possibility, or are you just playing him?
It's a little bit of both, Jules. I think you got to have a plan A, B, and C in place at all times, and maybe even further down the road, because you never know who's going to win HOH, and I want to be safe and stay in this game as long as possible.
Now, you united with Janelle's players against Willie. Is this an alliance that you see lasting for a while?
Absolutely. I mean, I trust Janelle and her players completely, and that's what's important in this game. Working with people you can trust, and hopefully they can trust me too.
Thank you, Frank, and you can head back downstairs
Thanks,
and
Jules.
rejoin your housemates. You're welcome.
Thank you.
JoJo, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
I guess my HOA train was pretty friggin' spectacular. 2 people out the door in 1 week, and it's great to have Shane on his own, so he'll be more likely to work with me.
Here, you want to switch that to hallway? I just want to give you a heads up. I don't know who I'm putting up next.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to go up.
Right. I want to give you my word saying Will is my #1 target. Brittany did throw out an option. She's like, well, Frank nominated you last week. Well, I said, you're good if I win HOH, and I want to stay true to my word. Last week, I made a deal with Frank. I believe he's a stand-up guy, and I got to value that, and I think I can work with him in the future if I stay true to my word.
If you want Will out, I will vote Will out.
Okay.
And I will talk to Jen and Ian about voting your way too.
What Shane is saying sounds great to me. Will's the target, which is one of Janelle's players, and I'm not the target, which means I'm going to be safe this week.
I'm not worried about this week. It's making moves that are going to benefit me in the future.
Yeah.
And if I can trust you to not put me up next week.
That's good to know. I'll let y'all do here.
Oh, no, you're good.
Frank, you are safe.
Thank you, Shane. I'm sure we're still golden, but one thing I like to do when I'm working with people is keep an open line of communication, because you can't help but get a little paranoid in this house.
I pulled Shane into the arcade room because I just want to touch base with him, make sure everything's hunky-dory before the veto ceremony.
Brittany had a conversation with Ian, and like, is Shane good next week if we keep everything the same? And he was like, I guess.
Yeah.
So that made me a little awkward. I'm just looking out for me. If we keep the nominations the same, we're afraid that you guys are gonna get the votes to just get out Ashley.
Yeah.
And then have Joe come back over and work with you guys, and then it's just I'm left alone again. I'm throwing out random voting scenarios to Frank because I'm trying to find a way to not make Frank mad at me if I do put him up as a replacement nominee.
Well, one, I'd much rather work with you than Joe.
Right.
Because you've been honest with me.
That's true.
I think what it is Boogie and I usually kind of wait to have those types of conversations with Ian when it gets closer to HOH, because we don't want to reveal too much to him, because he's just a kid. That's the main thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
I really, because of Ian's little crush on Ashley, I just don't see him voting for Joe to stay.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true too.
But I know
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I'm working with you going forward.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't like Frank pulling Shane into a room to talk. I don't need Frank playing any mind tricks on him. So I need to break up this meeting.
I was just telling him we're just worried about securing the vote. That's kind of our biggest concern.
That is
now.
our biggest concern. I
Right
have to
now.
be honest with you. I played pool with Ian last night, and I flat out asked him if he would put Shane up, and he gave kind of a weird answer.
It's because Mike hasn't told him what to do. We'll talk with Ian and be like, look, Shane kept us off the block this week, so we got at the very least keep him safe next week.
But I freaking am worried about securing the votes because Ian will do anything.
Ian is not very good at this game. I mean, he's a little bit socially awkward, and he's just too afraid to really talk game with anybody. This freaking kid is gonna possibly mess up my game.
Like, really, the only way that we know for sure which way the vote's gonna go is if somebody from our team votes up.
If I would say put one up, I would say Ian. Just because it might freaking slap him in the face and say, hey, wake up.
This is the biggest decision in the game that I've had to make. It's going to make it or break for me, and I want to make sure it was a successful HOH. As head of household, I also have to name a replacement nominee. This game is very tough, guys. I've been working alone for the past week. I'm in a horrible situation. I have to do what's best for me. So I'm sorry, but I nominate Frank. I'm sorry. This veto meeting is adjourned.
When Shane put me up on the block, it was a little bit of surprise, but at the same time, I kind of saw it coming. I've been there before, and I know not to panic.
This was really good.
I'm not happy about being on the block right now. I'm pretty sure I have 2 votes against me, Will and Ashley. I'm sure they'll vote to keep Joe. But I'm pretty rock solid on 2 votes to keep me in, and that's Jen and Ian. That means Danielle's a swing vote.
Tell him now.
They don't want me out.
So you knew you were getting nominated?
No, I just had a good feeling that if he was going to change him, it was going to be me. He told me straight up, he's like, look, no matter what happens, you're good. Joe's going out. Don't get mad because that's going to make them want to think about getting me out.
Why didn't you tell me this before? I mean, I was staring, I was ice grilling him like I'm coming for his ass. I kind of need to be on the inside.
Big Brother Coach's Frustration 101. If one of my players knows there's going to be a big shakeup in the game, you may want to tell me.
I hate this lack of trust thing.
I know.
What more do we have to do to show that we're down?
Is he in here?
Yeah, he's getting ready to run.
Look, Bugs.
What?
I know you're pissed.
Well, I just, I don't know what's going on, and he just told me, relax.
When I asked Ian if he was going to put up Shane next week, his verbatim words were, it's not in the foreseeable plans. If you win HOH next week, you're not putting Shane up, no matter what.
I don't see any foreseeable circumstance in which that would happen.
He
And I
can't
was
be giving,
like, that
he can't
is
be
not a
giving
good
Magic 8
answer.
Ball answers. I understand.
He has to be a little more careful with his words.
I don't like finicky word choices. I needed a solid answer. Boogie is absolutely freaking out because he thinks that Frank is the target this week, which he is, but Boogie doesn't need to know that.
I'm not mad that he's nominated.
Yeah.
But you guys are trying to get him out.
No, Danielle's going to be the swing vote. We've got Danielle.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's fine. I just didn't know what was going on.
And I love Ian, and I don't want him to be in trouble and you guys be coming down on him.
It's all good.
But-
It's good.
All right.
No worries, Brett.
Just want to shake the kid.
I don't want to bug Danielle, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm not, staying too far away. Obviously, if I win, Danielle's not even going up on the block.
That's the thing.
Not even as a replacement this time.
I need to get Danielle's vote, and you can't do that without talking to her coach, Dan.
Janelle's my enemy at this point. I want to go after her players to get her out. And if that means I have to get Will and Ash out, they're just casualties of the game. And at this point, if Danielle is rolling with us, then she's completely, protected as far as I'm concerned.
This way, she's 100% protected because if one of Janelle's players wins, they're coming at us and Shane.
Exactly.
Probably us. Or maybe Frank and Shane. She's completely safe next week.
I want to work with people in this game that I can trust, and I do feel as though I can trust you. On a scale of 1 to 10, 2 different numbers, one for me and one for Boogie. How much do you trust us?
Why does he have to give 2 different numbers?
Because we're 2 different. I think it's different.
I think you're everything in this game that you've said, you've done. And going off Mike's game film, I couldn't give him that same rating.
But I figured.
If I have somebody and they're with me, then I'm rock solid.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way.
Literally, if he walks out the door, I'll be heated, yo. I'll be heated.
I think after this week, if the votes go like we expect them to, then there will kind of be a line drawn around Janelle and her players.
So right now I'm on team get rid of Frank. But Boogie and Frank actually pitched me a pretty good sell on getting Janelle's players out of this house. That means he's not coming after me.
If there was a way to get rid of a coach without knocking out a player, I wouldn't mind. I'd like to get Janelle out next week.
What year were you born?
84.
84, okay.
I don't know if I told you this about my dad, but his name was Sid Vicious. He was a big deal in wrestling.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
My dad's definitely a bit of a legend in the wrestling world. He's wrestled all the big boys, Sting, the Iron Sheik, Macho Man. Him and Hulk Hogan were tag teams, fought against each other once too, won a couple big belts.
We're from a small town in Arkansas, so it's like he's still kind of a local celebrity.
I'm Sid Eudy, Frank's dad, but in the professional wrestling world, I'm known as Sid Vicious, and I am the master and ruler of the world. I'd say Frank is his competitive nature for me, and I told Frank from a very young age that he was going to be special.
You have got to see Frank working out. He's doing exercises that only I see personal trainers do.
I think Frank's a huge target because I think he's the best.
I was always that kid who never told people who my dad was. We don't have the best relationship. We've only talked like once in the last year.
Me and my dad have not been on the best terms. He wanted me to play sports in college, and by the time I got out of high school, I was tired of playing sports and doing exactly what my dad told me to. I've got a bit of an ego, but I'd say my dad's ego is bigger than mine.
So that must have been an interesting childhood.
You know, with Frank, I sort of regret being on the road so much. I didn't get a chance to be really there. You know, their mother did most of everything. Get some of this, Debbie, get some of this.
My name is Sabrina Eudy, and I'm Frankie's mom. Frankie is definitely a mama's boy, but Frankie and his dad are very much alike. They argue about who's right all the time. I think Frankie would be extremely surprised to know that his daddy was so involved in the show.
He's saying very good in guacamole. Frank probably thinks I'm not watching the show.
Frank locks in fourth.
I never knew that he was even signed up for this show. When I seen it all happen, I was just shocked.
I said, we'll work from week to week, and then you're going to come throw me in the dirt?
You said, I promise you will not go on the block, and I'm on the block.
The argument with Willie, I think he handled it really well. I would have hit him top of his head and break all his bones from his neck to his ankles.
I nominate Frank.
Oh, no. I knew he was going to do that. I fear for Frankie's life in the Big Brother house.
Bless his heart. If he got himself out of the situation with Willie when he was up on the block, surely he can get himself out of this time.
I think he won't be able to do it. If you make Frank the target, you better get him, because if not, he's going to get you.
Morning, Mom. Morning, Nana. Dad.
Love you guys. Growing up in my dad's shadow, it does kind of leave big shoes for you to fill. If I could make my own name and not always be that wrestler's son, it'd be great. I definitely do hope my dad's watching, and he's proud of me that he's finding something I think I'm doing pretty good at.
Dad, if y'all probably aren't watching right now.
See that people are watching him and standing up for him and really supporting him. As a father, it doesn't get any better than that. I'm so proud of Frank.
House guests, the results are in. The reset button has been activated. That means a new game begins right now. Joe and Frank, neither of you will be evicted tonight.
It's Frank and Boogs. Tells you a lot.
The fix was in. I guess the plan was Will snowballed us. Danielle snowballed us. They're both going to vote you out.
Dan shocked me earlier and told me that the votes were going to be against Frank for him to leave the house. I'm no mathematician here, but I'm pretty sure he was talking about Danielle and Will, who told Frank he was safe. Apparently, they're liars.
And you know, we don't have to blow up too quickly. Yeah. But me and you ride or die till the death, you know? I mean, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I was on that as a coach. You know, we're going to have a little reset and see what happens. Right now, we got to go get our boy to the end, because Danielle is clearly not trustworthy. I treat you just like Will. I will do you no wrong in this game, and I know you won't do me wrong either. And there's a bunch of people in our way, and we'll try to steamroll and do what we can. But there's so many people to nominate. There's so many people to nominate. We just got to get the kid to hold on. Hey.
I just went and talked to Shane. I was like, what the hell? Apparently Frank was going, and he was like, what are you talking about? He had no idea.
Oh, Shane had no idea.
I don't know what to believe.
Shane goes, I told Frank that he was going.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
My attitude is, I think, worse this morning.
I think me too.
You know what? I have zero desire to discuss game strategy, alliances. I don't give a... Seriously, like, I'm not gonna go up there on my own. You can obviously do what you want, but I'm not gonna sit here and joke around with Will. Yeah. I'm not gonna do it. Like, it's totally respectful to just go, you know what? I changed my mind back. I'm gonna vote with my team. Yeah. But you were looking to like clown, like punk us out like bitches. Mm-hmm. You.
A lot of things happened that didn't really go our way. Number one, Frank was about to get blindsided and voted out of the house. And then somebody I can't stand goes out and wins the head of household competition. And I'm probably going to get nominated. So not really too cheery this morning.
I like straight up wanted to be like, look, with Dan and Danielle, I was like, look, I do not trust you anymore.
Right. You're welcome to do whatever you want.
Yeah,
I don't trust you. I will promise you nothing.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we kept you when we didn't have to. You were gonna us, last night. If you want to do something to try to earn that trust back, great. If not, that's fine.
I'm madder now, like talking about it, like having slept on it. Now I'm more pissed.
Ah!
I have nominated you, Frank, and you, Will. It's nothing personal. You're both great people. I love you both. I'm sorry. I really hate doing this. This nomination ceremony is adjourned.
I'm up on the block again, but guess what? I've been dodging bullets left and right in this house. You better be ready, Dan and Danielle, because I'll be coming back next week, guns a-blazing. I'm on the block again, and it's time number 3. But I've been dodging bullets left and right so far, so hopefully I'm gonna win the power of veto, pull myself off the block, and I'll be coming for Dan and Danielle.
I'm freaking the nomination king over here. 3 out of 4 nods.
A big threat.
I've been in every comp and only won 1.
Well, I know. What are they so afraid of?
Exactly.
I think it's the hair, dog.
Maybe.
I think you better cut the hair.
That's what it kind of is this week. It's a battle of the hairs. Me and Will.
I'm frustrated, I'm disgusted, I'm disappointed. It's nice to at least have Mike to vent with. He's venting more than me because he's madder than I am at this point.
Can't stand her.
So over her and Dan.
Yeah.
And Janelle. Practically everybody in this house. Except for you. I mean, what the did I do?
They're going back door. Dan's not talking to me. This is a classic backdoor.
I'm annoyed that I could be set up for a backdoor situation, which means I could be sent home without even getting a chance to play for the veto.
I hate everybody. I really do hate everybody.
I just got beatbox, a sorority girl, and a POV. Part of me is like, God, maybe I could talk Danielle into using the POV on me, but Dan would have to be on board or he would say not to do it.
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't think it's talking Danielle into it. I think it's talking Dan into it.
But she's just acting like she's doing her own decisions, even though I know that's not the truth.
I wish I could talk him into putting up Janelle. I don't want to work with Janelle. I want Janelle out of here.
Janelle has been a huge rival of mine over 2 seasons of Big Brother. I want her out early this time. I don't want to have to worry about her all summer.
We could just get her nominated. We could easily send her home.
Yeah, we get Dan on board. Dan can get Brittany on board, which would lock Shane in. We get almost every weekend more than enough votes.
It's been such hard work.
Obviously, this is going down the road. We gotta get me safe this week.
We just got our hard hats and we go to work every day.
Pack a lunch.
Pack a lunch.
Check out my spirit time!
Damn, Frank, your ass looks good. In the veto competition, there were 2 punishments given out. The first was a spiritard, which Frank got. A super skin-tight lycra suit that's oozing all kinds of spirit.
I've got spirit! How about you?
Dan, Brittany, Shane, and myself have all decided that we're going to go through this plan and backdoor Janelle. We just got to get Frank and Boogie up here and set some conditions and all completely agree with it and look Boogie in the face and make sure he's not lying to me.
I know that Frank has good relationships with a lot of people in the house. If, say, a Jen pulls out an HOH win or a Will pulls out an HOH win, I'm worried of the 2 of you coming up here and putting us, you know what I mean?
I can't say enough, how much I believe in this, and I do what I say and I say what I do.
So you want a final 6 for sure, no turning back, no backstabbing, no.
Absolutely. You're okay with a name, right, Brittany?
Sniper.
A name.
Yeah.
But what is
Oh, since we're all kind of keeping it quiet, The Silent Six.
Here's our sign. Okay.
I feel great right now. I mean, this is like Christmas, my birthday, Thanksgiving, and 4th of July all rolled into one.
Wow, Frank, another rough week for us.
You know, things aren't always as bad as they seem. We formed a new alliance with 4 other people.
True.
And we talked Danielle into putting up Janelle.
Frank, you're up first.
Well, everyone, it's day 34. Congratulations on making it this far. Out of these 34 days, I think I've spent about 20 on the block. But I think everyone would admit that I've managed to continue to play this game like a gentleman, even in the unitard, thanks to Danielle. I do have to thank Nana, though. She told me one thing very important. She said, Frankie, keep it classy. And even though my name's been dragged through the mud repeatedly, I've managed to do just that. So if I can give y'all all one piece of advice before you vote tonight, it's keep it classy. Jules?
You sound like Ron Burgundy.
I vote to evict Frank.
House guests, the votes are in. When I reveal the vote, the evicted house guest will have just a few moments to say goodbye, gather his or her belongings, and walk out that front door. By a vote of 8-1, Janelle, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
I've spent the majority of my time here this summer on the block. 3 times I faced an eviction on Thursday, and 3 times I managed to walk out of it unscathed. Don't ask me how, but right now I feel a little bit like Superman.
Frank was the first to ring in, saying loose change was a veto competition. You are correct. Congratulations, Frank. You are the new head of household. Danielle, please pass on the key to the HOH bedroom.
The comeback kid is in full effect at this point. I mean, this is twice this summer. I went from being on the block and being a target to coming off the block and winning HOH that night.
Yes! You know what I was thinking? Obviously, we'll have tons of time to talk.
Yeah.
But, you know, the thing is, we can't just ghost. We need to get tons of mileage out of this. All we do is set ourselves up for the next week and the next week and the next week. I think while we have to play this is really work Will. Nominate him with Joe.
You don't think we should put up Joe and Dan? I'm not afraid to.
I mean, I think we should bring it up for discussion, but Dan's gonna freak out.
I know Dan and I are in an alliance right now, but at the same time, I can't help but remember that he was going to blindside me last week. It might be time for Dan to feel what it's like to be in the hot seat, even if it is just as a pawn.
I mean, the only thing, as much as I'd love to do that, does it rock the trust of the foundation of the group?
Yeah.
Because look, if one of us ends up on the block, we're gonna need Dan and Danielle's votes.
Who wants to see my HOH room? I gotta grab my pom-poms on the way up too.
I just now had barely made it out of my room out of a dark depression. I ain't even looked one of these mugs in the face yet, and I gotta put on another happy face and take a look at Frank's room.
Here we go! All right. Oh, I see a picture! Memphis Tigers!
Is that Nana?
Yeah, that's Nana right there.
Oh, yeah. Dude, jean shorts, Frank?
Cut off jean shorts!
Oh my God. Look at you with that blonde hair, Frank.
Old days.
Old days. Bring them back. Frank's pictures this time around are just getting better and better. Apparently a few years ago, he had long, flowing blonde locks and a face that could rival that of Dennis Quaid.
You got NASA hat.
Got the NASA hat.
NASA hat. NASA hat. I thought Frank was really cool before. Now he has a NASA hat. It doesn't matter that he's wearing the unitard. You put the NASA hat on, you're like the coolest, best dressed person in the whole world.
All right.
Let it time.
It's from Nana.
Yeah.
We are all so very proud of you. Know that win or lose, you have done an admirable job. Oh, how I've missed you these past 30 or so days. I didn't know I would miss those 7 a.m. calls so much. Ha ha. I'm going to go for now, sweetie. Remember to mind your manners. I love and miss you much, Nana. My Nana's a very important person in my life. I moved in with my Nana when my pawpaw passed away 9 years ago. And so it's really good to hear from her and know that she's watching at home. Nanner banner. Nice. That was nice.
What's beautiful is the last 3 evictions, or exits anyways, you know, been 3 people I didn't care for.
Yeah.
It's great like that.
I just don't see Joe not going home next.
You can go him and Will. You could still go with the you or Janelle's players and just go at 2 of them.
If we put up Will and Will wins next week, it puts me and Mike in danger next week.
How much do we want to disguise our situation?
As the only vote to evict Frank, Joe is the obvious target this week. But that second nomination is a little tricky. We might want to put up a member of our Silent Six Alliance so the house doesn't know we're all working together.
If we could put one of us up, it'd be nice.
Like, so Joe and then a pawn, right?
I mean, maybe Shane, if he would volunteer.
Maybe if we get all of the 6 in here, bring up the idea that one of us needs to go up and just see if Shane might volunteer.
He might.
As long as I'm not the one wearing the mask, I don't give a...
I mean, I know you don't want to. I know you don't want to, but I'm just saying we gotta at least talk about it.
Oh, put Dan up. I didn't think of that.
In no way, shape, or form am I comfortable with being a pawn. I'm such a threat in this house. I know if I'm on the block, there's a high chance I'm going home. I'm not the one who wants to wear the mask of a pawn. Keep me off the block, Frank.
I would humbly request not to.
You don't trust your alliance, huh?
I just wanted to give you my take on all this real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Shoot, Bubba.
I thought about it most of the night.
Yeah.
I'm in a hole and I got to speak to Mr. Frank the Tank. I need him to know that, dude, even though you got the 8-1 vote and you know it was me, there's bigger fish to fry right now in this house.
As you're considering nominations, I would just wanted you to think about a few things.
Yeah.
I am alone in this game.
Yeah.
Which could be in your favor if need be.
Yeah.
2, I would really hope that you would at least acknowledge loyalty this week.
Yeah.
And that some of my teammates have flopped 5 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, exactly.
3rd is Will. There's not a soul in here that he hasn't lied to deeply.
I believe it.
What's that tell you?
Means he's playing his game pretty dirty. Joe's throwing Will under the bus with both hands right now. Already know Will's a little bit untrustworthy, but at the same time, Joe's definitely the only vote in the house that went against me just a day ago, so he's definitely still my #1 target.
And if it's within my power, before I leave here, I will try to get him out first.
Yeah. Come on in.
I just wanted to grab your ear and your ear for just a hot second. I don't know, kind of like last week with Danielle, like, if you want to put me up, no hard feelings at all. So I don't expect a grace period or anything. I wanted to talk to Frank, and of course, if you're going to talk to Frank, you got to talk to Boogie as well. You know, I have an instinct that I'm going to go up on the block, so I want to, let him know it's all right, no hard feelings. Maybe by being honest, they might not put me up.
I mean, here's the thing, like, personally, we like you and everything, and we do realize that there are other powerful duos in the house. when we want to make a run at those duos, it has to be the right time. If he were to put you up, there will be people who will give consideration to sending you home. We don't want that to happen because we feel like we could work with you a little bit,
Joe goes home. Who do you want out of this house after Joe's gone?
That's a dangerous question, I think. I do have a gut feeling that there's a large group of people working together. And
how large?
I can tell you that I'm not targeting either of you, but I'm not going to answer that question right now. Well, it's good to be in the know.
That's it? Later,
taters.
Peace. I don't like that attitude at all.
I don't like it either.
He's in that position. He's acting Big Willie style.
Yeah.
The idea was that Will was going to go up as a pawn next to Joe, and Joe would most likely go home. But after his cocky and brash behavior in the HOH suite, I'm starting to think he may become public enemy number one.
I'm starting to lean maybe getting Will out. There's no doubt he's putting us up.
He's going to come after us hardcore if we put him up. It's obvious.
The cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
Will knows. I mean, he says, I know a large group's working together, and he smirked.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you, Mike. I'd like to send Dan home this week if possible. If the opportunity arises, I would like to.
Really?
I don't trust that. He was wanting me out 2 weeks in a row.
We're not trustworthy at all to anybody ever again, and then we're huge
I agree,
targets.
but at the same time, how are they trustworthy to me, Mike?
I was in the same position.
Yeah.
If you went home,
I agree. I'm not just saying.
I understand, but it's like we've built something now. I do think it's a little early. He's good. When you make a run at somebody like that, it has to be definite.
I brought up the idea of nominating Dan, but Boogie says it's probably not the best idea right now. But at the end of the day, it's still my decision, and I have to do what's best for me in this game.
I certainly, don't want to be with him in the final 4 or 5.
We don't want to be with him in the final 2.
Oh, definitely not. No, neither of us would be able to beat him.
Hey everyone, it's time for the nomination ceremony. This is the nomination ceremony. One of my duties as head of household is to nominate 2 people for eviction. I will pull the first key, that person is safe. They will pull the next key, and so on and so forth. I've nominated you, Joe, and you, Will, for eviction. Joe, you were the only vote yesterday to evict me, and last week, Will, you told me a big old fib and then was going to evict me. This nomination ceremony is adjourned. Joe, you started off as my target, but your old partner, Will, might have just put his foot in his mouth a little too much. Will, you can take that community theater routine all the way back to Kentucky, buddy, because you're going home Thursday if you don't win the veto. The nominations are set, and Joe and Will are up on the block. And while Joe might have been the target at first, Will's attitude has now changed the target over to him, and I'm thinking he might be the best choice to go home on Thursday.
We're really in a good position right now, but we gotta get rid of Will. And Will's just a liar.
Yeah.
And he's clearly coming after us.
Dude's feeling super alone, especially with Ashley out of commission.
Yeah, he's gotta go.
Yeah, I agree.
Prior to nominations, we just wanted to have a general friendly conversation with Will. All this guy had to do was sit back, say okay, but he copped an attitude with us. Now he's kind of become the target.
You know what's good is if we are going to work with Joe a little bit, unlike every other person in this house, nobody's fighting to be his friend. So maybe if we buddy up, he'll be like our loyal pet.
We just gotta make sure he knows. Don't stir the pot.
We have to make that super clear. He can't be going around starting trouble.
Make sure he knows we gotta keep it low.
Low. What's up?
Okay. Where the nominations go, Putting you up is an easy choice just because it's kind of what people in the house want. That doesn't mean until we want to go home. There's a chance that the person you want out might be the one going out.
I follow Big Frank into the storage room, and he's saying, Joe, you are not the target. Makes a brother kind of feel good. I don't know. You can't trust nothing in this house, though.
We just need you to keep your cool, keep this completely on the down low. Let's try not to stir the pot too much this week.
I won't. Stay low and just...
We'll do our best to get you 1 week closer to jury.
Joe's like a drunk girl at prom. She's gonna make a mess. You just gotta make sure she doesn't throw up on your shoes.
I owe you a big time if you do. Right?
All right.
You got it.
The baby Zingbot. Zingbot 4000.
It's a bot!
It's a bot.
Oh my gosh, it's a baby Zingbot. I love babies and I love Zingbot. Frank, congratulations! You have won the power of veto.
Your boys blinged out this week. Got the HOH key and the power veto resting tightly around my neck.
What a great week. Frank goes out and wins the HOH, and he tops it off by winning the veto. It's a nice, easy week. Just gonna be hanging poolside in Chilltown, baby.
I'm gonna head upstairs and see if we can't make a deal with Frank.
We just wanted to talk to you real quick
We thought we'd
about...
snatch you before the night.
Yeah.
Down the way. When we've talked, and we all have targets in this house, and it is kind of like, if there's a chance that you aren't working with one of these big players and you do want to make that move, rest assured.
We want to be behind you.
Yeah. The only thing that holds me back from doing it is I'm worried about taking a swing and missing this week. It's going to come back to bite me big time.
You know, it takes 5 votes.
Yeah.
She's going to be confirmed. Jen's confirmed.
I think Ian would be too frightened too to go against you guys.
Mike would be confirmed.
If it's 4 and 4, you make the decision.
This gives me a little bit more confidence that it won't be a swing and a miss. And so, you know.
We're always saying how Dan was a dangerous player, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know if that's who you're targeting. I'm just talking. I think I said too much.
You didn't. Don't worry about it. Will and Ashley want to have a little talk with me. And the plan that they proposed to me is the same plan I've already been thinking about the last few days. And that plan is possibly trying to get Dan out of the house this week.
Well, I mean, if you're willing to take that risk, I'm willing to take it with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just feel like the past history of this season, the veto has been used a lot.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm thinking about it. I mean, my mind has not been made up whether I'm going to use it yet. And obviously, if it goes through, it just means y'all got to have my back going forward if this happens.
Well, you've got big decisions.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to be in your shoes.
I know.
So, but you wouldn't want to be in mine either.
I know. I agree.
Gosh.
What's up? Well, Guy?
Boogie? No?
He's asleep, man.
Ready for tomorrow morning?
Know it.
Plans still the going?
Probably.
Probably.
You never know.
Oh, Jesus. You know I don't like surprises.
And we do have a chance to take a shot at some big targets if we really wanted to. I mean, because there are people in this house who have been trying to get me out of the house the last couple of weeks. My main worry is Dan.
It's gonna open up a huge can of worms.
I've been in the line of fire for 4 weeks.
I know. I mean, God.
Would you vote either? You'd vote how I wanted you to, though, right?
Right,
No matter who it was?
Yeah, sadly.
Okay.
Dan is part of the Quack Pack. I don't want him going home. My goal right now is to get Quack Pack members to the jury. I don't know. Oh, it's messy.
Let's say Dan did go up and we sent Dan home. Danielle's out on an island by herself. We rope in Shane and Brittany. We've got 5 strong players, okay?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dan was gunning for me these last 2 weeks, Ian.
I mean...
And who am I more threatened by, Will or Dan?
You gotta think of it like that.
I just feel like Will's word is dirt.
To me, Dan's word is dirt. But it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, but so early. My honest advice is don't rock the boat. Keep this week calm waters. We're looking at bloodbath ahead if we freaking shake things up.
Hey everyone, it's time for the veto meeting. This is the veto meeting. Will and Joe have been nominated for eviction. But I have the power to veto one of the nominations. I have decided not to use the power of veto. I've been in some tough spots already, and I don't need to rock the boat or get any more blood on my hands at this point. Sorry, guys. This veto meeting is adjourned. Dan was definitely a viable option, but you know what? I've got to pick my battles. It's just not time for me to send Dan home. So right now, I want Will out the door.
Thanks, Papa.
I didn't use the power of veto today because I was just a little worried that it might rock the boat too much.
Tough decision.
The decision to not backdoor Dan could be a make or break decision going down the road. Yo. That scare you?
Yeah. No one else is up here, right? We never get any time alone to talk, but I know probably, you know, it was a little difficult to trust me, but like what you did today, I really appreciate that because, I mean, if you wanted to, you probably could have teed off on me, you know?
I won't say it didn't cross my mind, I'm honest. Obviously, since I was thinking about backdooring Dan, there's a chance he could have known. I want him to hear it from me because I want him to know that I had that opportunity, but that I trusted him and he needs to trust me going forward. I've got yours and Mike back together, you know, and I feel like it's the same way.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Frank telling me that he considered backdooring me tells me that I can't trust him. If you're gonna entertain the thought to backdoor me right now, you're definitely gonna do it at a later part in this game. If I get the opportunity to shank Frank in this game, I'm gonna do it.
How are you leaning this week?
I still think Will's probably the best bet. Just because with Will gone, Asheville could not be by herself. Her and Joe aren't gonna meld well together and work well together. Joe's gonna be out there easy to send home the next week if we want to do that.
These next couple weeks are huge.
It's so hard to get enough pepper out of that grinder. You gotta take forever to do it.
Hey, Frank, you want to have an ice cream date later?
Yeah, we could do that.
Asking other men out on dates, really?
I definitely want ice cream, but I also wanted to see if I could get some information about Will, maybe seeing where the house was going, if they're going to vote for Will to stay, and I kind of wanted to go on a date with Frank, too.
Ashley, I respect you making a move. I like that. You're not waiting around for a guy to come to you, you know?
That's right.
He hasn't asked you out since the slop date.
I was gonna make her dinner.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was. Ashley asks Frank on an ice cream date. That's supposed to be my flirt mance.
Thanks for going on a date with me.
Well, thanks for asking me.
You're welcome.
We're having cocktails instead of ice cream. I hope that's all right.
Yeah.
There's no ice cream around. I mean, I guess it goes from a G-rated date to maybe more of a PG or PG-13 rated date.
Thanks.
Welks.
Cheers.
Cheers. It sucks because I feel like Will had it really great, but now he's not looking good.
This game is...
It's tough, so I'm trying to support him.
Will's problem is he wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Yeah, and he gets so paranoid, like, I'm kind of just like a lone soldier at this point because I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm just like, sometimes it does get lonely. Like, you have Bugs.
Yeah.
I have Will, but you know how Will it can get.
Yeah.
I needed some manly testosterone in my life. It's feeling really lonely.
When we finish this, we can make out on the couch.
Okay, perfect. No, I didn't want anyone to think that I was like doing this for game type things. It's just, it's a nice getaway.
Well, you're dumped.
Not good, not good.
What do you feel right now?
Worried? She shouldn't be going on dates with Frank.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to make out on the couch for a little bit?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
You being serious?
Yeah. One of my favorite moves that I like to pull out of the bag is just to flat out, hey, you want to make out on the couch? And truth is, it works most of the time.
Oh my God, you're for real.
Yeah.
Frank is very Channing Tatum-esque because he has a great body just like Channing. He's very manly and he has nice lips and very soft tongue. I had to stop. I can't believe you just did that.
Why?
Oh my God. That was nice. I like that.
Will, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Like I say, you always will. You look good.
Seeing Will walk out the door is a good thing for me and my alliance. I just hope that not backdooring Dan won't come back to bite me this week.
Thank you, Shane.
I've nominated you, Boogie, and you, Frank. You have prizes, you have twists, and ultimately clues that completely fade your decision making. That's pretty much all I can say at this time. I'm sorry, it's nothing personal. I'm giving you a chance to fight for POV. This nomination ceremony is adjourned. Sorry.
My heart, it feels kind of broken right now. We did our best to try to build trust with the people that we're working with, and they repay us by putting me and my tightest ally and friend in the house up on the block against each other. And knowing that there's a good chance that at least one of us might go home this week, it doesn't feel good at all. Being up on the block against my best friend and ally in this house is just devastating. We feel completely blindsided because we had the Silent Sixes back last week, and we get repaid by getting scumbagged the minute we're not in power.
One time I actually feel kind of safe.
Yeah, I know, right?
Who do you think's behind it?
Brittany.
If she didn't have the backing of Dan, she wouldn't have done it. Dan's obviously he's part of it. We should have backdoored him.
I'll blow the whole thing up, because now it's over.
Yeah. They just like making fools out of us. I'm telling you, Dan's part of it. I'm ready to hear their logic behind it.
Let's go together.
All right.
Frank and I are completely blindsided. Shane, can we have a word?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not going to sit and dwell on the fact that we're nominated. We got to figure out first who was behind it, who talked Shane into it, and what we're going to do about it.
I thought we were tied.
Yeah,
Bubba.
I mean, I don't. What happened?
I heard from more than one person that my name came up.
Came up in what?
If you guys were gonna win HOH.
We just won HOH.
What do you mean?
I mean, I had the chance.
We had the chance to do
No,
you
I know.
last week.
Okay, well, yeah, I know. My speech wasn't made up.
mean,
I
but-
switched my decision pretty much last minute.
But I mean, you're referencing a question mark in a glass box.
Correct. And that's not ultimately what I made my decision on.
But are you claiming that you know something beyond what the whole house knows?
There could be that. It's no. I didn't base my whole decision off that, Boogie. I'm being influenced by obviously a lot of people, and if I hear a certain thing, yes, I probably should have came to you guys.
If we're working together, I mean, is it someone outside of the six?
What do you mean?
That influenced you?
It was Joe. But I really hate being in this spot. I'm just trying to do anything and say anything that'll get the heat off of me. Ian is our mole, and I got to keep him safe. I got to keep him out of this conversation. I heard that Dan and I we're both going to be nominations. I know it didn't happen, but I mean, I got to pull the trigger sometime.
You have nominated Frank and I because of a glass cube with a question mark on it, and Joe's advice? What?
I think that it's not just Joe. I think Dan and Brittany probably got in your ear too.
I'm saying people are influencing me.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Dan too?
No. I'm saying
Brittany.
I was influenced to make a big move.
By Brittany.
By someone in this house.
Brittany.
Yeah, Brittany and I are obviously the only two working together. Her and I are working together. And she probably used my HOH like she. Obviously, I don't have a good social game.
Yeah, we know. We know.
I
We
know
said
how
that
to win
last-
competitions.
At this point, I don't even know what language this guy's speaking. It's excuse after excuse after excuse. He's using every excuse in the book of dumb excuses.
She goes, "Who are you putting up?" And I said, "Joe and Ashley."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Well, why don't you do this? These guys are coming after you." I guess she's putting stuff in my head, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the thing
and
is
then
like,
that gets me thinking, like, oh my God, maybe they are coming after me. Maybe,
right.
You know,
You feel like her opinion means a lot because she's played this
it does.
before
and
knows
that's
the
why
game.
I got into that.
Just because she was your coach, she's not looking out for you.
Right. Well, it seems more apparent now that she's kind of using me.
She's going to go back to Tulsa, go to her bank, and cash that fat check, and she's
And I'm
not
gonna
going to be worried about what's going on in Vermont.
I know. Valid point.
I mean, I would like to know if Dan dropped a dime on us because I feel like he did.
No, I can tell you that 100%. No.
Look, we can still be very good friends, Shane.
This isn't the end.
If you work with us and fix this situation, we can work together still. If you're open to it, yeah.
I'm open to anything, Boogie. You know.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure, dude. Don't worry about it. Don't feel bad at all.
No.
After talking with Shane, it's clear that Brittany was behind it. I know that she's very skeptical for my past behavior on other seasons, and I know she has it in for me, even though we're supposed to be an alliance together.
Thanks, guys, for not jumping down my throat.
You upset?
It's just.
What'd they say about me?
Well, I kind of, just so you know, I wanted to get to you before they did. I was just saying, I had a lot of people in my ear, you know, telling me what to do. And I said, you know, Brittany had an impact on what I did. She might have, you know, implied it. And then Frank was just like, did anything come out of Dan's mouth? Because if it came, you tell me man to man. I just said no. The only person I heard it from was Brittany.
It upsets me that it's been deflected to me and now I'm like the huge target. I realize that you have to do what you have to do, but for you to act like it was a little bit my fault,
well, I told him
that
100%.
makes me a huge target to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
And all I was ever trying to do was help you because they were gonna put you up.
They were going to come after you
So it
and
would have
Dan
been
and
better
me.
for me just to not say anything to you. I don't understand why I had to be thrown under the bus.
Yeah, I didn't really completely throw you under the bus.
That's what it sounds like.
I've thought for a long time that Shane didn't have a whole lot of common sense, but this just really makes that really loud and clear. I have to run downstairs and do damage control in this situation. He could have just really screwed up my whole game.
I just basically came in here to say that, like, I did definitely hear that you guys were gonna go after me and Shane.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, Brittany? Save it. Come on.
What are you talking
You're
about?
using him as your puppet, baby.
I
Come
am
on.
not. How am I using him as
Don't
my
worry,
puppet?
you made the big move, sweetheart. One, maybe two are staying, honey. So just strap yourselves in, all right? Just. Who else was in on it? Dan and Danielle?
Multiple people told me. People that I believe. People that wouldn't just make it up. Not
Well,
you, Frank.
why
I'll just
would
be
we-
honest. That you said that next week you wanted a big move to be made and you insinuated that it was me and Shane. I shared that information with Shane. Did I say, Shane, put Boogie and Frank up? I did not. He's the HOH, not me.
He didn't want to put me up as a replacement nominee, but you got him to.
It's not my call. I don't put the keys in the box. He
you
could be
don't
aligned
have,
with you.
Yeah, you might not have put the key on in the box, Brittany, but you are in his ear telling him this is a good decision.
Okay, so good. Maybe if he wins the $500,000, it'll go to me since apparently I'm the one who's really in control of the situation.
No.
Shane, can I just have like a few more minutes?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just want to, everything's okay?
When the keys don't come out, the jig is up. You know what I mean? Like,
But I didn't
obviously
put the key
you're
in
in.
the box, Boogie.
You're in on it. It doesn't matter.
So who said
Mike said it?
Yeah.
A very super, incredibly believable source.
Well, obviously it's Dan.
No, I'm not going to say who it was. I really don't want to say who it was.
It's somebody whose word you really believe, and it's got to be Dan at this point.
He never
It's all right. I mean, it's fine. I mean, because I knew.
I actually like this better.
Yeah.
I like this better. Now we know.
Dan's one of those person who's numerously shown me that, hey, you can believe me, you can trust me, I've got your back, while on the other hand, he's completely trying to sail us down the river.
Yeah. Boogie wants to have a conversation.
Huh?
Boogie wants to have a conversation.
Oh, there you are.
What's up, Pimpin'?
You want us to leave, stay, go? All
No,
of
no,
us?
no, no. I
Oh,
want
okay.
everybody here.
Oh, okay.
Let's just have an open forum. I think we owe each other that, right? As you know, I'm a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's get it in the open, and then at least we know where we're at.
Fire away, and I'm sure we'll answer honestly.
You know, I'd love to know who told her this that caused this whole thing to happen and ended up with,
But
us as targets.
That comes down to me again saying where I heard it from, and I don't want to say that. Like, I don't want to break the confidence of the person. I really don't.
I don't want you to. I just want Dan to be honest and tell us.
What do you think came out of my mouth? Tell me what you thought I said.
I'm just trying to start where the lies possibly started, right?
I just don't know what you're acting coy about. Like, if you guys are gonna make a big move and it's all about getting one of us out, like, I can respect that, but it's like, why hide it?
Did you ever say that you wanted to put up me or Shane?
Well, yeah, eventually that's gonna happen.
My Boogie is freaking out. He's on a witch hunt to try to figure out who gave us this piece of information. Was his head stuck in his homemade Chilltown t-shirt? Does he not remember that he said this to Ian?
If you win, who's gonna put up Brittany? No.
Who?
Shane. Yeah, I guess.
Think about it ahead of time.
We'd like to at least hear from Dan. Hey, yeah, I threw your names out there.
I think the silence says it all, so it's fine.
Here's what I'll say. On my wife, on Chelsea, didn't come out of my mouth.
Dan, I'm sorry, buddy, but you can say that, but you've lied to my face before,
That's
and
fine.
that's just
that's fine.
yeah.
And I can understand why you wouldn't believe me.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you.
Dan's silence said everything. Dan is never at a loss for words, and the fact that he wouldn't speak just showed that he couldn't speak without lying, and he chose to remain silent. So thank you, Dan. I think I got it. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man.
Bye.
Do you want me to take the heat on this one? Or, I mean, I don't know what to do, but I don't drag people's names through the mud, and I don't appreciate mine either. And I'm close to not being able to protect that kid any longer.
I know.
I'm not cool with that. Because in this game, if I get caught in something, or if I do something, I'll admit to it. I don't care. But I don't do that stuff. That's why, I'm covering for this kid, and no one has a clue, which I understand.
I know, but he's given us so much good information.
I know, but does it matter anymore?
You don't think it matters?
I mean, the Alliance, our Quack Pack matters, but I guess I just got moved to the front of the pecking order.
What do you think we should do, though?
I mean, I'll take heat for the group as long as I know that kid is going to do the same for us. Because if he doesn't, and he doesn't appreciate that, then I'll throw him to the wolves. I don't care.
Because you folded, Frank automatically wins the veto. Woo!
Boom! I got a little souvenir from the competition today, and the souvenir that counts from the competition today. My back was against the wall, and it couldn't have come at a better time. That's 3 competition wins in a row for me. Dan, why don't you suck it? Hey everyone, it's time for the veto meeting. This is the veto meeting. Mike and I have been nominated for eviction, but I have the power to veto one of those nominations. I have decided to use the power of veto on myself. Mike, I wish I had 2 of these jokers, but I don't, Bubba. I'm sorry, brother. Shane, since I've just vetoed one of your nominations for eviction, you have to name a replacement nominee.
Shane, I'm very curious. Why did you have to give us the runaround if you were just going to make that decision?
I wasn't. I was taking every option into consideration, Boogie.
It's like you like jerking it around.
No, absolutely not. That's definitely not what I was trying to do, Boogie.
We feel like yo-yos right now.
No, if that's how you feel, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to come across as it did.
Stuff your sorries in the sack, man.
You're just looking like Dan's bitch right now. You're just Dan's bitch and he's laughing at you in there.
That's fine. That's no worries.
Is Boogie yelling at Brennan? He's yelling at Shane. That's not right. Because if Shane doesn't do what they want, then he's a bitch. They're like terrorizing the house. Where's Dan at?
I can't wait to watch you get done wrong, dude.
I'm not worried.
Oh, you should be. You should be very worried because you're sitting on the sidelines with that key dangling around your neck while other people play for HOH. And you're in a lot of trouble, son.
Is that a threat, Boogie?
You better hope your boss wins HOH.
Is that a threat?
It's the truth, Shane. I mean, you weren't my target at all now. It's great for Dan because now he goes from number 1 on my list to number 2.
He's good. Dan likes to play silent, but the guy's really just Satan. He likes to pretend he's the Catholic schoolboy, and he's not. Frank, we gotta give it up to this guy.
I know, right?
He's good.
I told you, though.
I know, you did. Dan, are you gonna ignore me all week? It'd be much more fun if we could just have some laughs about this whole mess.
I'm not trying to ignore you.
I tip my cap.
No need to do that, man.
I wonder why you versus the other two, though. Have you thought about that at all? Dan's right here. He probably could tell you. I think he was probably in on the conversations.
Yeah.
He's busy reading right now.
So I'm sitting here taking all this heat from Mike Boogie, and everyone knows I'm never gonna crack under pressure. Bullying doesn't work on me. But the interesting thing is that Ian's sitting there watching this all happen. I just hope he realizes how much heat I'm taking for him and understands what I'm doing for the kid.
I'm trying to think down the road for these guys. It'd be great if they're in the final 3 with you and Danielle, because you'll definitely throw that last HOH so you don't have to slash Danielle's throat on national TV. Am I right, Dan?
I haven't even thought that far down the road.
Oh, I bet you have thought every inch of the road, Dan. The only thing I will ask of Dan is just don't do wrong by Ian. Frank's a big boy. He's going to go to battle, but I just hope Dan doesn't do you wrong. Just watch out, Ian. He's a beast.
Frank and Boogie have stood side by side all summer. His vote should be obvious. Hello, Frank.
Hey, Jules.
Please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict Jen.
Boogie, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Boogie walking out the door is almost like cutting me off at the knees. Me and him are definitely a dynamic duo. It's not going to be easy for me without Mike here.
Ian is not to be trusted.
Ian could have voted for Boogie anyway. He owed Boogie that vote, and the fact that he didn't just breaks my heart.
Ian, what happened, dog?
Get to stepping, buddy.
No backbone. He gave you $3,000.
Sorry,
He
bro.
saved you the first week, and you can't even give him a vote.
It was a done deal.
It doesn't matter. That's why I'm saying if it's a done deal, at least give him a vote. Give him your respect. Give him your loyalty.
Let's listen.
Uh-oh.
Boogie, them flip-flopping jokers duped us, man. You worked so hard to get me out of some tight spots. I wish I could have done more. One thing I got going for me is you and Brady are going to be at home rooting me on. Stay with me, brother, because I need you.
Get in there. What's going on, buddy?
You going to put me up? Just tell me if you
don't want to.
Huh?
I don't want to, but I'm freaking out. Are you gonna f me because of that vote?
I will not. Of all the people in the house, Ian is one of the last people that I think I'd have to go up to and ask not to nominate me. I'm just as mad as I can be at the kid because I don't know what he's thinking. I know that they got to you. I know that you didn't probably want to do that.
I hope you still got my back, because if you got my back, I got your back. Let's get Joe out at least. Just, I promise I won't go after you.
Can Shane and I talk?
All right.
Hello.
All right, Ian.
Yeah.
You look like you're ready. All right. Face your housemates now and make your nominations.
I hate to do this. Just things were said after that eviction that have my heart racing. I hate to do it to you, Frank, and Ash. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, guys. I hate to do that to you.
All right.
You're a puppet, yo. I'm so disappointed. He put me and Ashley up, who were supposed to be his two closest allies, just because somebody told him to do it. This POV, as far as the Big Brother game goes, is a life or death situation for me right now. Good decision, Ian!
Congratulations, Frank. You have won the power of veto.
Thanks. This is 5 times they put me up on the block. This is 5 times I'm not going home. I'm gonna keep pulling rabbits out of my hat until they send me home, or I bring home $500,000.
Give it to me. Sorry, buddy. As a Big Brother expert, I saw this coming a mile away. The Quack Pack should have tried to backdoor Frank instead, but now we have to fear the wrath of a very angry Frank.
Y'all thought y'all get me and Boogie on the same night? I don't think so.
Don't let it get to you.
Taking advantage of him like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ian, come here, buddy.
Now we get Joe out. We get Joe out. We have the votes, I think.
They're not gonna do it, Ian. They're gonna want to screw me.
Let's go.
Sorry, Ash. I wish I had 2 of these jokers. I'm in this spot again, but I'm gonna use it on myself, Jules.
Ian, you must now name a replacement nominee.
Joe, you had a chance to plan the Shamrock thing. Nothing personal. Pop a squat, man.
Oh, Joe's going right back up. Why not? I already been on the block 2 times. Why not 3? I can get off the block just like Frank can.
Sorry, Joe, but vote Joe out. Ashley deserves it more than he does.
Please don't be upset. I'm sorry.
I told you this was gonna happen a mile away. Listen, you screwed me.
He just wants to be a celebrity chef. Send him home.
You guys know where my heart's at. That's all I gotta say.
You know you want him out.
I know I want him out.
Well, tell them that and they'll do it, Ian. I'm not gonna worry about what you did. They pressured you into that, and it's behind me. I just gotta hope that they're gonna see that Joe needs to go home before Ashley. But at the same time, I know that they know Ashley's close to me. They've already cut me off at the knees. Now they just want to take the rest of my legs, I'm sure. Be the big man and let yourself go home right now.
Are you kidding me? Do you know how this game's played? Do you know how this game's played?
I know how to get, because I've been winning, Joe, and you haven't done jack.
I'm here, aren't I?
Barely.
Where's Boogie?
He just went home.
Exactly.
Thanks to somebody like you. He had your back last week. You float like a bob on a fishing pole is what you do.
With Boogie gone, Frank is on his own. What is his best move now? Hi there, Frank.
Hey, Jules.
Please cast your vote to evict.
I vote to evict the terrible chef, Joe.
Ashley, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Cowards! I ain't gonna lie to you, Ian. You're a terrible person, and that's the truth.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you screwed.
I feel so bad for him, Frank.
Feel bad
please
for him?
Don't make it
Y'all just sent home the only 2 people I had to work with. Feel bad for me, Brittany.
I do, but please don't make him
Been nominated
upset.
5 times.
Please don't make him upset, please. He can't, Frank, he's not, he doesn't have.
He should feel upset.
He doesn't have the emotional strength that you do. Please don't yell at him.
Well, I mean, everybody needs to know that's not right. Y'all weren't right to put him in that position. He's feeling like this because y'all talked him into it. Y'all not see that? Don't blame it on me.
I'm
Y'all
not,
give
I'm
it to
just
him.
asking you to please not yell at him.
Y'all should feel ashamed of yourselves. Doing that to Ian and sending that girl home? Just because of me? Just because y'all are afraid of me? Y'all did it. Don't act like I'm getting mad at him just because of myself. I did it because I'm doing it because of y'all.
Okay, so please yell at me, but please don't yell at him.
The house is already completely against me. I can shout at the top of my lungs at this point. Everybody wants to send me out. I go up every time. Shane, let me talk to you. Danielle, if you want to talk, you can.
I thought Ian was going to nominate me, I swear to God, before. That's all I have to say.
Mike's gone and Ashley just left. But you know what? It's time to get to work. I'm all by myself and I got to change that real fast. You're not going to separate from Dan, are you?
I can't separate from Brett. She's got me this far. Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Actually, can I talk to them three for a minute?
No, you're good. Thanks, Ian.
I didn't mean to get irritated with you, Frank.
I'm extra heated right now. I'm sorry I yelled at everybody, except for Dan.
And I just didn't want you to yell at Ian because he as much as you might not believe it, he feels horrible.
Well, Dan should feel horrible for talking him into it. I'm asking them
Frank's
right now.
a lone wolf right now. He's got it.
I'm asking. Look, right now, and I got to hear it before I win HOH. If I win, I'm going to put up Dan and Joe. If you guys aren't rolling with me, I'm going to put up you and Dan because I've got to put up the two strongest players.
I understand.
But if it's the other way around, if you guys can tell me, y'all know that what I say is golden, and I'll stick with you until the very end. And right now, at this point, I'm completely by myself and my back's up against the wall. I'm asking you and I'm begging you.
That was my only concern. I mean, I've had Dan's trust the whole game.
I know.
You know, he's had my back.
He's a good talker. He's using his knowledge of the game to get y'all to believe everything that he says. I'm not saying anything bad about you, obviously, Danielle. You know that. I know. What's
wrong?
Talk to us.
It's all right.
Give her a big hug, Shane. She needs it.
Come here, girl.
What's wrong, Danny?
We're just talking. I think.
Can I talk to Frank?
Yeah.
Just alone?
Yeah. I was just gonna say if you want to.
I just wanted to talk to Frank alone. He wants Dan gone more than life itself. If Frank wins this HOH, I know he'll put up Dan, and I'll probably be sitting right beside him.
Let me as honest as I've ever been with you, Frank. I have nothing against you. I've lost a ton of time. I can't.
I know you can't.
I can't. It hurts so hard. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
I know you can't. I didn't.
I'm after you.
I know. You're a baby doll in my book, and it'll never change, okay? Don't worry. Give me a hug. Don't worry about it, all right? You're down?
I'm down.
All right.
If I'm winning this, and I'm gonna win this,
All right.
you're good.
And Shane's down, too.
Shane's down too.
Frank is a big competitor in this game, and there's no doubt about it that I'd want to see him out of the house this week. However, we're about to go into an HOH competition, and the fact of the matter is I need to keep my options open and adjust my game with sort of the ebb and flow of what goes on in here on a daily basis.
You have 9 lives. I'd rather be with 9 life guy than against 9 life guy.
You know, I had a little conversation with Brittany. She knows I want Dan out and not her and Shane. So I just gotta hope and trust that she's not gonna come back and stab me in the back like I've been stabbed in the back a million times already this summer. All right. Thanks, girl. We'll do it.
All right.
All the way.
I'm winning tonight.
Frank, congratulations. You are the new head of household.
I just can't help but look at the board, and it says my name over and over again. Frank, 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 Frank. With the deck stacked against me, I bring home the W, and they're all at this point just being like, God, we can't get rid of this guy.
Frank wins the HOH. I'm in trouble. There's no doubt in my mind who he's gonna put up. But I'm gonna do whatever it takes to stay in this house, and I'm gonna slither my way out this week one way or another.
Please don't make me have no.
Okay.
I'm so sick of Frank winning everything. I don't even know why we show up. Like, we should just push him into the backyard, shut the sliding glass door, and wait inside, like eating pizza, for him to come back in with the key. It's like, what was he competing with people in hospice?
Now it's your turn to choose the have-not for the week.
It's not really a hard decision. Dan.
In 2 seasons of playing this game, I've never been on slop and I've never been a have-not. Everyone in the house knows I'm his #1 target, and this just kind of puts the slop cherry on top of it all.
I know that Frank wants to target Dan, but he has to put 2 people up on the block. And considering I just nominated him about an hour and a half ago, things aren't looking very good.
Let's come sit on the couch.
Oh, just wanted to check in with you.
I made a deal with Frank before HOH just in case he happened to win, and now that he has, I need to make sure our deal is still good.
I do trust you, Britt, but you know, the house was against me a couple hours ago. I mean, I'm not gonna put you and Shane up. I'm gonna put Dan and Danielle up.
You are.
I've had 2 chances to get Dan out and I passed up on both of them. I'm not gonna miss it again. I mean, because I know no matter what, he's gonna come after me.
It's a good strategic move for me too.
Yeah.
Because he can beat me at the end of this game. I would never want to be on the block against him.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me with his wormy words? He's the last person I'd want to be on the block against. I would go home. If you're gonna put Dan up, my vote's gonna be with Danielle.
To keep her.
To keep her.
Yeah.
100%. You have my word, Frank. I'm gonna vote however you want me to vote.
And you're not gonna put me up for a while?
For a long while.
You can try to work with me down to the 4 or so?
Let's do it.
Right now, I trust Brittany more than anybody else. But you know what? That's not saying a whole lot, because I don't trust anybody in this house. I mean, I'm down. I mean, I gotta have somebody to work with.
I'm freaking down.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
What happened to you?
Oh!
What happened to you? Look in the back. Don't tell him. Just look in the back.
I see the balls. Oh my gosh!
I got a veto.
Nice! Now that Ian has won a veto in this Pandora's box situation, I don't know what to think at this point. I need to talk to Ian because this could change my mind as far as what I'm gonna do for nominations. You gonna be alright if I put you up?
I mean, I don't really have a say in it, do I?
Well, no, here's what I'm saying is, obviously you know you can pull yourself off.
Right,
automatically.
which is what I would do. Hey, Britt.
Here's the deal. I was gonna put up Dan and Danielle. Y'all both know this. And I'm gonna put up Ian and Danielle. Because it means Dan might not be able to compete. I would still put up Dan and Danielle. But Ian, you looked out for Dan yesterday, and I just don't know if you're gonna look out for him this week. I don't know why you're looking at her right now.
Do what you do. Do what you do. Do what you want to do. You know what I mean?
All right, Ian. I mean, right now you're saying things that are making me think I can't work with you going forward.
It's not that. It's just that I don't want to, taint any decision. I don't want to do anything. I didn't expect this. It's weird. I don't want to be sitting here just being like, get these out of here. I don't want to. I don't want to play that. I just have a veto.
You don't want to be like that. Y'all were like that yesterday with me. So let's not sit here and act like that's a bad thing to do.
That's true.
I think we need to just take
just
some,
chill.
you need to
just
think
chill
about
for
it.
now.
This week, I need Dan to go home. It might be my best option to nominate Ian so that he'll use the power veto on himself and I can backdoor Dan.
You guys want to talk? Or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Do what you do. I mean,
You're saying that if you put Ian up, then he doesn't have the option to use it on somebody else.
Exactly. He's too easily influenced.
If you put the both of them up, you guarantee that you get one of them out.
No, I don't.
Not if Ian uses the veto.
Exactly. Did you see what he was acting like whenever I was asking him? Wishy-washy, magic 8 ball.
He probably wouldn't use it if you told him that you were going to put me up if he did.
Something to think about.
I need to go tell Ian that.
I'm doing everything I can to keep Frank from putting Ian up on the block because I know that if he puts up Dan and Danielle and then myself or Shane win the regular veto, by using both of the vetoes together to save Dan and Danielle, we can keep all 5 of us in the house this week, no question.
I'm not gonna put you up. I'm still gonna put Dan and Danielle up. Obviously, I don't want Dan to talk you into using that.
Basically, if you use it, Frank's going to put me up.
that gives me 0 incentive.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I'm going to have to make a decision between Frank and the Quack Pack, the decision really needs to be, what do I think is best for me in this game? Do what you do, yeah. Is what I'm saying. And
Well, I thought we were doing we.
My whole plan of getting Dan out the door hinges on my trust that Ian won't use it on Dan. Problem is that I'm having a hard time trusting Ian because he just screwed me over. If I can't trust Ian, I might have to put him up on the block because then I'll know that he won't use the veto on Dan.
We're working together
Yes,
tonight, Ian.
yes, we are. It's just I get scared whenever I have to make decisions. So.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's time for the nomination ceremony. This is the nomination ceremony. One of my duties as head of household is to nominate 2 people for eviction. I will pull the first key, that person will be safe. That person will pull the next key, and so on and so forth. I've nominated you, Dan, and you, Danielle. First, I'd like to dedicate these nominations to Mike and Ash. They should still be here. As far as you, Dan, try to get me out for a few weeks now. I've passed up on 2 opportunities. I can't pass up on a 3rd.
Understand.
Danielle, I'm sorry, but you're just a victim of circumstance. Good luck to both of you. This nomination ceremony is adjourned.
Right now, I'm putting a lot of faith in Brittany and Ian. But the truth is, if Dan doesn't go home, this really might come back to bite me. I don't want to take a shot and miss. Dan's been doing a lot of swinging and missing when it comes to trying to get me out of the house this summer. Me, on the other hand, I want to just take one shot at him and knock it out the park. But it means I'm going to have to put a lot of faith in Ian and Brittany.
Thanks for hearing me out, man.
Absolutely.
While I was trapped in solitary confinement, I came up with a master plan to try and save myself. Step 1, invite all the house guests to Dan's funeral. Step 2, go talk to Frank and blow up the Quack Pack.
I brought this Bible up here, not to read to you, but to swear at. I have no power in this game. What I do have is information. There's a couple things you need to know. Number 1, selling out you and Mike in front of everyone. I didn't do that. You're gonna find out how it went down and what happened. The Silent Six was formed. Prior to that, there was an alliance created. Not with 4 people, with 5 people.
Ian, I knew it.
You know? But the thing is for you is that, no, he is with them.
You know, this guy duped me, you know?
This kid's ruthless. I was in such a bad spot, and then here I am. I'm taking heat for this kid.
Yeah.
And he's covered on every angle.
It blows my mind what Mike did for him. I want him out next.
This was my pitch to you. Brittany's a more dangerous player. She's covered everywhere. Covered by you. Joe's not gonna put her up. Ian's not gonna put her up. Shane's not gonna put her up. Who is gonna put Brittany up? For as tight as I feel with Ian, there's not a doubt in my mind he's tighter with Brittany. If Brittany had won that veto, was gonna go down. She was gonna take Danielle down. Ian was gonna take me down.
See, but I was thinking that Shane could win the next HOH and I'd be all right. But now I'm thinking that's impossible.
I was completely by myself, so I had to try to work with Ian, Shane, and Brittany. But now it turns out they've been lying to me for weeks.
I've never made an action against you. Like,
yeah.
Shane, you know, put you up however many times. Like, I've never even voted against you.
Yeah.
You know? No one would ever think we'd be working together.
Don't be bull me, Dan.
No, I swear to God.
Yeah.
But this is actually pretty good. Everyone in the house is pissed at me. Jen's probably irate with me that I did that to Danielle.
But if I went to Jen and said, Jen, look, I know you and Danielle are tight. What do you think about me, you, Dan, and Danielle? I know this might sound a little crazy, but I want you to use the veto on Dan. I think she might do it.
It's really gonna come down to you working, Jen. Because when I'm gonna go grab Danielle and pull in the arcade and be like, that was an act. I'm trying to save us both.
Yeah.
And I think I just did. Because she won't say anything.
If I get Brittany out of this house, Ian will be by himself. Shane will be by himself. If me, Danielle, and Jen are working together, then it'll be us four and Joe. I've been worried about somebody that might take me to the final two. And now it seems like Dan might be that person.
We both.
Hey, Dan.
I swear to God, on this, on my wedding thing, on my wedding ring, on my chain from my dead grandfather. Everything I'm telling you is the complete truth.
I was willing to swear in the Bible to go to the end with Frank, and the crazy thing is, I actually mean it.
Yeah, final two, man. We gotta come with a name, though.
Ian has been working with me for a while.
Oh my God.
He told me that it wasn't him that me and Mike said Brittany. It was Ian. We thought we had a group of 6 with him, but what Dan told me, there was a group of 5, and it was them 4 and Ian. He's been working with them and giving them information.
He said everything about you.
Everything.
Dan, well, you just made up big time by telling us about Ian.
Yeah, he swore to God. He offered to give me his wedding.
Okay, so, yeah. All right, so it's a wrap. It's the truth.
Would you use a veto on Dan tomorrow if I asked you to?
Oh my God.
Me, you, Dan, and Danielle working together.
Who are you gonna put up against Danielle?
If we don't take her out, Shane, Ian, and Brittany will work together.
It's just gonna put such a big target on me. He's so dangerous. I can't help but feel like we can't trust him. Dan will keep me safe.
Dan will keep you safe, Dan, I promise. Because he does trust you. And he knows
no reason.
Yeah.
Frank, I just need your word.
Look, you got whatever you need from me.
So guys, how's it going?
How you doing?
Not too pleased. Little blindside action this morning. I don't know what you're doing, bud, but I mean, what?
Well, you thought you were covered by all bases. You told me that the other day. Now I'm going to send Brittany home, and you're not going to be covered on all bases. You'll be by yourself. Should have never went against me, Ian.
I was working with you when I didn't use the veto.
You weren't going to use the veto because you thought Brittany was going up. Don't say you were doing that for...
That's not why.
You don't raise your voice in here. You can step outside.
Thanks, I will.
All right.
Do you mind? It is what it is. It's a game, I understand.
I'm sorry, Snowflake. I really wanted to keep a bigger target in the house for my personal game.
If I can get you out, then Ian won't be covered. He'll be by himself.
He was a lot closer to Ashley than he was to me.
Not close enough to put you up. He put me and Ashley up. I can't help but think you had something to do with that.
Of course, I have to do with everything. I'm responsible for Shane's nominations. I'm responsible for Ian's nominations. I guess you're getting out the big bad wolf.
I'm not saying that you're the sole person that's responsible for what happened, but you got to see that I've got to get people as separated as I can at this point.
I just had this feeling that this was gonna happen. Like I knew it inside. You are very good at this game, Frank.
You're really good at this game too, Brittany.
So good.
I'm not just gonna lay down and die.
No, I don't expect you to.
I don't expect you to.
Like I do want to be here. I want to stay
I know
here.
you want to be here.
If you guys are looking for somebody to protect you next week, I can do that for both of you.
Yeah.
Especially now my back is against the wall. My word's that much better. I'll help you if you keep me.
You're right, Frank. No, it's a tough position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks though, Shane.
Yeah.
Tough decision that you had several days to think about.
You had several days to decide you were going to vote Mike out,
seconds.
right? What about how much time you decided to vote Mike out? Just keep running your mouth. Everybody's looking at what you really like right now.
No, Frank.
Let those horns come on out, Ian.
Frank,
Let them come out.
Frank,
I thought that they were taking advantage of you because you were a kid, but it turns out you're just trying to be sneaky.
No, that's not true. I'm not sneaky at all.
All right. Because it was really easy for you to vote against Mike, and it was really easy for put me and Ash
it was
up.
really easy for me to vote against Mike because I cried all day.
And then you told him
That
to
was
get
the
to
easiest
stepping.
thing.
You told him to get to stepping?
Yeah, I told him to get to
Exactly.
stepping because he was freaking calling me a
No,
coward.
because you had it
no
ready.
backbone
Because you
and
had
no
it ready,
spine.
and you expected it to happen like that.
That's
You were
the
crying
stepping.
all day, and you were coming to me saying you felt bad that Mike was probably going home, but you really were guilty because you were voting against him. So I have no sympathy for you.
Well,
no sympathy.
Okay, well, good.
You don't need to get so loud about it, son.
Yeah, because that's how it was during the live show, too.
Well, that was a different scenario. You put me
Oh, yeah,
up
it was
on
a
the
different
block.
scenario. Yeah,
You
it was
voted
a different
against
scenario.
Mike after
I
he
had
gave you
30.6 seconds to do
$3,000
it.
and gave you a key.
$3,000 and a key.
$3,000 that I passed up on.
This money is for you and any two players you choose to share it with.
Give it to them.
Sure?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give Ian the 3,000.
And what do? You repay me by putting me up on the block and voting Mike out. You f me.
Well, me. I'm gonna right
Well,
now.
actually, you self by putting me up on the block when you thought you can get me out.
If anybody in this house takes him to the end, they're a fool. You sit next to him in the final two, he wins 7-0.
That's probably the
and
truth.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody
knows that.
Everybody
And if
knows
I'm
that.
not, if you say,
I've
you're knocking me for honesty,
I've come to everybody. I've come to everybody in this house and say nobody will probably take me to the final two. I'll have to win it to myself.
Exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yeah. So you're not telling
one
anybody anything
person.
they don't know. I got this carrot costume on. I'm sitting here having a freaking toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Julie.
Your housemates are all downstairs in the living room. They can't hear you, so speak your mind, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you've spent 5 weeks trying to get Dan out of the game. Then, after one conversation, you teamed up with him and you played a major role in saving him. Why?
You know, Dan and I were working with each other at one point with Mike, and even though we thought it was him that ratted us out the other week whenever Shane was HOH, it turns out it was Ian, and I kind of had my assumptions all along. Once he told me that that was true, I just had to pull the trigger on trying to get Brittany out.
Well, you've made a final two deal with Dan. How sincere are you about taking him to the end?
You know, right now I'm trying to build some trust with Dan. I'm not sure how much I really trust him, but if the next couple weeks show that I can, then that will be sincere. But if not, I might be getting him out as soon as possible.
Let's talk about Ian. Ian voted out Boogie last week, and then he put you on the block. You've since had some heated words with Ian, so where do the two of you stand now?
I mean, the thing is I pretty much know that Ian wants to get me out of this house. I mean, he said it to everybody that nobody can beat me in the final two, and it definitely makes me feel good about myself. But at the same time, it lets me know that, you know, he does not want me in this house. He's going to feel a little alone this week if Brittany goes, which I think she will. So I'm hoping that maybe I can rope him in just in case he wins this HOH. But at the same time, I've got everybody on the Ian bus as far as getting him out next week.
In that costume?
In this costume.
Just kidding. You wear it well. Thank you, Frank. And you can head back downstairs to the living room and rejoin your housemates.
Thank you, Julie.
Brittany, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Ian pretty much only had one leg to stand on, and that was Brittany. I couldn't put him up this week because he had the veto, but the next best thing was to send Brittany home. And so that's what I did. Mission accomplished, pretty successful HOH.
I don't think, may not be going up. Why do you say that? Dan and Jen. Really? Because he wants Dan out. That's what he did to Brittany. Worse than you. I hope so.
It'd be great if Ian targeted Dan this week, but I'm in an alliance with Dan right now, and I'm not just going to go upstairs and throw him under the bus.
All right, we gotta keep working to get Dan out of here. Great. That's the whole week.
Yes, come in. Hey, Carrot. What's up, bub? How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Just maybe wanting to see where your head was at. Now that Ian's HOH, I've kind of burned that bridge a little bit, so I'm going to have to throw a rope and try to swing over and see if I can't somehow talk him into not putting me up on the block.
I mean, I'd sweat a little bit.
Huh?
I'd sweat a little bit.
What do you mean?
I mean,
if you were me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I would.
Yeah.
You got to find somebody to work with going forward.
Now that Britt's gone, my obvious pair, is gone.
Yeah. Right now, the only person I feel like I can trust is Jen.
Right.
I'd much rather have a second person that I can trust. And right now, you might trust a couple people to tell you the truth, but you can't really trust them to not make a move on you the first chance they get.
That's the thing is, the one person that I trusted unconditionally is now gone.
Yeah, but it was the same thing.
And it's the same thing for you. The two people you trusted unconditionally.
Well, there were three people I trusted unconditionally.
This is true.
I need Ian to get over the fact that I just sent Brittany home. We're not here to make friends. He needs to try to buddy up with me so that we can try to make a run at this thing. Because if not, he's not going to make it to the end.
I wish you would have realized that Mike and I had your back way more than they did.
I know.
I know whatever they told you kind of got to your head a little bit. But Ian, I would have rolled all the way to the final two with you, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
I never close any doors in this game. Don't ever think just because we got heated at each other once that I'm not somebody who can forget all that. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's no harm, no foul. We're both still here.
That's true. We are. That's very true.
And I mean, just like how Mike was my closest ally and Brittany was your closest ally, they're both gone, and we've got to find somebody that we can trust.
That's true. We really do, don't we?
Next week, I might not be able to play HOH, but like you obviously would probably like to have me around on your side playing in POVs.
Your biggest selling point right now is the fact you can't play next week. There's some really good arguments to keeping Frank around. Last week, Frank took a punishment in the veto competition that requires him to sit out of next week's HOH competition. So he's not any threat to the Quack Pack at the immediate moment.
I wanted to just have this little heart-to-heart with you, see that I'm telling you the truth and that you have no worries about me going forward.
If I decide to work with Frank, I could just as easily put Joe up on the block. I'm definitely tempted to keep Frank's interest in mind, let him slide this week, and maybe position myself well in this house. Oh man, being HOH is not easy. I have nominated you, Frank, and you, Jen, for eviction. Frank, you are a phenomenal competitor in this game, and I downright respect you for it, but you're a huge threat, and that is definitely an issue that I have to look at going down the line. Jen, you have played a remarkable social game so far and are also a threat, and I just have to keep these types of considerations in mind when moving forward, and nothing personal, just strategy. This nomination ceremony is adjourned.
I feel like Ian probably is holding a grudge against me because I helped get Brittany sent home. But does he not realize that everybody voted her out? It's just another day at the office for me. Being up on the block is just kind of like going to work. I think Ian's a little pissed at me for Brittany going home. But does he realize that he's the only one that didn't vote to send her home? I'm not surprised to be on the block because I'm always on the block. But I wish he'd get past that.
Big night, girl. As long as one of them comes off and Joe, then we'll be super fine.
I think he wants one of us gone.
As long as Jen or I come off the block, we should be golden. We're in an alliance with Dan and Danielle. As long as all three of us are still here, Joe will go up and go home and we're golden.
I'm gonna chill in the arcade room.
All right. Don't stress too much. We'll get taken care of.
All right. Thanks, Frank.
How you feeling?
The only thing that worries me is your key coming out last. I mean, it might not mean anything, but...
Oh, in terms of if someone comes down?
Yeah.
As long as you're coming down, we can still get through that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if we can.
Oh, because of Jen?
Yeah. I thought Joe was for sure going up as a replacement nominee until I saw your key come out last.
Dan and I have a final two deal, so I don't want him going up on the block if Jen or I win the veto this week, because that either means Dan can still go home or we could be up on the block against each other.
I think I was just happy that I had my key. I didn't notice that until now. You know what I'm saying?
Frank thinks I'm in an alliance with him, Jen, and Danielle. He also thinks we have a final two deal together. What he doesn't know is that I'm not going to uphold any of that.
So what do you think the best case scenario is then?
The nominations staying the same might be the best case scenario.
Is the best case scenario to leave it as is then?
Maybe.
If I can get Frank to not play in this veto and throw it to me, this may even be better than Dan's funeral.
That's our best case scenario.
You're right.
It is.
How you feeling?
All right, I guess. So, you gonna use it on Jim? Yeah, we gotta talk about it. Obviously, you can't use it on you. You know that, right? Yeah, I understand.
Dan can't use the veto on me because it will expose our deal and everyone will know we're working together. But if he uses it on Jen, it will look like, hey, you scratch my back, so I'm gonna scratch yours.
You think he'll put up Joe, though? I don't think so. I mean, I think it's pretty much common knowledge that Shane and Danielle are in blood touch. Yeah. I'm gonna find out for certain who he's gonna put up, and we'll go from there.
You know what I was thinking too is, like, I think obviously, I don't think using it on me is a good idea. I think if you use it on me, he's more likely to put up somebody like Danielle.
Okay.
I think if you use it on Jen, he probably will just put up Joe, because he'll, you know, see it as a you scratch, you know, scratching back type thing for you and her, and that he won't
think much of it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's better for you going into next week too. I mean, the good thing is, if we do it and get the votes, we'll be in final 6 with an alliance of 4 and a 6.
Frank, us two in the end, are you kidding me? Are you really buying what I'm selling? And did you just ask me to take Jen down with a veto? Are you crazy? Do you know what's about to happen to you?
As long as you're cool with it, that's what I'm gonna do.
Jen's off the block. We're halfway through our plan. All I need to make sure is that Dan keeps his word and I get their votes this week. And then we're golden.
That's what I want. Let's just make sure we get it done.
Jen's off the block and Joe's up next to me. I only need 3 votes to stay this week. I've been working with Dan, Danielle, and Jen since over a week ago, right after Dan's funeral. So hopefully I've already got the votes.
It was perfect. You did a great job, by the way.
It's been a pretty good week for me. I've added Jen as an ally, Frank has no clue he's a target, and as long as he remains clueless, I'm gonna get a lot closer to the $500,000.
So you think we're golden though, right?
Yeah.
See, this is great for me. Joe goes home, I don't have to worry about that I've said. I wouldn't worry about that anyway.
That just sucks. You can't play in the next one. You know what I'm saying?
It's not that bad. Jen's already said she'll put up Ian and Shane.
What about Joe, though? If Joe pulls out a miracle win.
That means he has to keep have the votes to keep me and I go home.
Oh crap, did I just let that slip in front of Frank?
Oh, yeah. What am I thinking?
Don't be saying it, son. Got me a little worried.
No, I'm like, okay.
I gotta be a lot more careful than that this week.
You gotta realize why I'm gonna be a little nervous this week, because this is kind of like deja vu for me.
Yeah.
Because this is the last time I was up on the block against Joe. You and Danielle told me I was good.
Yeah.
I just don't want history repeating itself, Bubba. So you're serious about us going to the end, though, right?
Yeah. What do you think? I'm gonna work with Joe?
Yeah, because he ain't winning.
That dude's needs to go.
You gotta realize I've gotten burned so many times in this game this season.
Yeah.
The people who I was supposed to trust and then put me up on the block the very next week.
Yeah. Every single time.
Frank, you're up first.
I'd like to start off by figuratively pouring one out for my boy Mike Boogie. I wish you were still here. I also like to figuratively make a toast to everybody here. It's day 62. Congratulations for making it this far. As for why you should keep me, everyone knows I'm not competing in this next HOH. So one thing that means is I can't come after you, and I might be a nomination instead of you. But most importantly, when you're down in this game like I am right now, I'm very vulnerable. And when you reach your hand out to a player like me in this position and you pull me up if possible, I won't forget it. So if you vote my favor tonight, I'll do the best to return the favor.
I, as well as DanGiesling.com, finally votes to evict Frank.
Frank.
Thank you.
Frank.
House guests, the votes are in. When I reveal the vote, the evicted house guest will have just a few moments to say goodbye, gather his belongings, and walk out the front door. By a vote of 3-1, Frank, you are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Feels really bad about sending Frank home. Obviously, I like Frank a lot, but the reality of the situation is he was my biggest threat to winning that $500,000.
Sorry, Frank.
Yeah.
You're a great competitor, man.
Appreciate it.
Frank goes out the door, and it was supposed to be Frank, myself, Dan, Danielle, the four. You better believe they probably won't think twice about tossing me out the door if they could so easily do that to him. I feel absolutely by myself right now, and it's the worst feeling you could feel in this house.
Appreciate it, champ. Nice meeting you, man. And there were 6.
Finally, this guy is out of the house. Double crossing is my game, and stabbing Frank in the back is a byproduct of that. You should have never trusted me, and you should have backdoored me when you had the chance.
Dan, come here. Just in case something happens to me tonight, I just want to show you where my stuff is.
We're going to war. I need you in freaking kitty mode. We're going to war.
Frank is out the door. I have to protect myself. I'd go with Dan and Danielle. I have to. What else do I have?
You look shell-shocked.
I am shell-shocked. I mean, I have to admit, I was a little worried. You know, this was kind of deja vu for me being up against Joe and depending on Dan and Danielle. And once again, they lied to me. So it's kind of expected a little bit, but I'm bummed.
Other than bummed, how are you feeling right now? You bolted. You only hugged Jen, thanking her.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, I gotta kind of, the guy put his hand on the Bible and swore his allegiance to me, and he went back on that, and that's just hard to think a guy like that would do that. And I'm kind of just really kicking myself for even trusting him a little bit. But the truth is, I lost that POV, so there's not really a whole lot I could have done about it anyway.
Why do you think they did you like they did? Because just over a week ago, you were in alliance with Jen and Dan and Danielle.
Yeah.
And the vote was 3-1.
You know, I don't think that alliance was ever really anything legitimate. I think from the beginning they knew they were going to try to get me out as soon as they could, and this was the best time that they could get. I was up on the block for the 6th time, and they weren't going to let that happen again.
Not only were you a very fierce competitor in this house, in this game, but we saw you put your faith in a lot of people. Started with Boogie, very loyal friendship there. Then Ian, even though it was questionable whether or not to trust him. Then you trusted Dan. Was being too trusting your downfall in this?
I mean, absolutely. There was a lot of times I put my faith in people and I got stabbed in the back almost the next week after I came out of HOH. But the thing is after the double eviction, I didn't have anybody to turn to. I had Jen, but nobody else in this game. And I knew that if I was going to make it to the end, I had to trust some people and try to at least get them to trust me. I played a pretty honest game, and I was hoping somebody would return the favor, but nobody really would.
Frank, you spent years of your life trying to get into this house. Then you got in the house and you spent weeks trying to stay in it. How difficult is this to be sitting here with me right now for you? I mean, it's tough, Julie. I mean, I've been on the block since week 1. I mean, 6 nominations. I've been fighting every time. I mean, I've been nominated every time I haven't been HOH. I've been saying that to the live feeders constantly, but it's the truth. I mean, I fought just as hard to stay in this house as I did to make it into the house. Did you have a good time, though?
I did. I wouldn't change anything for the world except for maybe a couple things at the end.
In the event you were the one voted out tonight, your housemates taped some goodbye messages.
Whoa.
Let's listen.
Frankie, you have the ego the size of Texas, but this time you just couldn't beat Joe in this house. Your biggest mistake in the game was not getting rid of Dan. Have a good time in the jury. I'll see you in a few weeks.
I appreciate your game and the love for it. You're a huge competitor. You wanted me out one week, and then I wanted you out the next. This is nothing personal, but this was the time to get rid of you. Good game, that's all I have to say. You say preach, I say peace.
We've had our ups and downs in this game. We worked together against each other, against each other. And ultimately, I had to make some decisions that I felt were best for my game. You are the ultimate threat to me or anybody else winning this thing. That's why I had to send you home. Really sorry, man. Peace out.
Frank, we've had a long history in this game, but one thing you have to know is I respect the heck out of you. Week after week, your back has been against the wall, and every time you've avoided eviction. So at the end of the day, I'm voting you out because I respect you and know I can't beat you. I hope there's no hard feelings. Best of luck, buddy.
Are there hard feelings?
Absolutely hard feelings.
How bad do you regret saving Dan, and what are your thoughts on him?
I mean, the truth is I knew that if I didn't send Brittany home the other week when I had the chance, that there was still going to be a large alliance against me. Because I thought if at least she was gone, I could try to get in the middle somewhere and pick up a couple people. But it turns out no matter what I was doing, I was facing adversity the whole time, so.
Well, Frank, 6 times on the block, 3 times as HOH, 3 times as veto winner. It is safe to say you played one heck of a game.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you back here on finale night when you help crown the winner. You're off to the jury house now, Frank.